This is Snake. Can you hear me? Good. The mission is simple. Put your geek pants on and infiltrate Foxhound. If you need backup, contact Ken and Chris on their codec frequency. Ready? Snake out.
The movie's so fucking good.
I know. So good.
Like, it's almost unbelievable that it is that good.
I've been reading like reviews from people that generally just hate all movies.
Yeah.
And even they're like, this is amazing.
I even like the ones where they're saying, like, there's not much plot to this, but who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
And you're like I thought about it, and I'm like, yeah, there is just enough plot to string through these set pieces, you know, and like, even like they say, like, with every Mission Impossible, there's that one scene you have to see. There's like 5 in this movie.
Oh.
5, at
so
least.
many. And they're perfectly spaced apart.
Exactly.
It's not like it's too much at the beginning and then just dies off. It's like
I think
boom.
Now we might see, I'm going to try to remember to say this again, I think now we'll see action movies emulate this formula as opposed to the Bourne formula, so that we'll have these like smarter action flicks with wall-to-wall action. Because that's fun. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Fallout is amazing.
I can tell you that I actually like it more than Infinity War.
Same here. I did it. I stared at my top
Second
cameras.
time I watched it,
Yeah.
I literally went, yeah. And it's because, part of it is because the way that Fallout, or Infinity War ends, because you're just like, it's kind of a downer end.
Yeah, we were talking about that too. It's going to be hard to look at them individually, that and the fourth when it's released.
That's right.
It's going to be like one big 4 or 5 hour movie.
Plugged in?
Plugged in. I believe we're recording. I'll double check.
Please double check.
I'm going to double check.
Because, you know.
Because my mind hasn't been all that wonderful lately. Yeah, we're recording.
Okay.
We're good.
All right.
Yep. Oh. All right. Hello, Chris.
Hey, Ken.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
How are you?
I'm doing great.
Hey, you wearing your geek pants?
I'm wearing my Geek Pants.
Awesome.
I see you're wearing your IMF shirt.
Well, every good spy. This is close to a turtleneck
Yes.
that I have, and every good spy has to have a black turtleneck.
And well, I'm not wearing a Tom Cruise shirt. He's invincible, so it's fitting.
That
fitting.
is good. That is good. Real quick, before we go any further, I'm going to do a quick shout out. Randy Gottsman, I know you're watching this, and I know that you're wearing your geek pants, so, like I said, I'm giving you a shout out. Randy Gottsman, Underdog. Yeah! Alright.
Yeah?
Yeah, I work with
Randy.
him at the Power Center.
Randy's at the Power Center?
Yeah, at the
Right
Power
now?
Center.
Is he watching this now?
He's
from Power
actually
Center?
at the Power Center
He's at the
right
Power
now,
Center
but
right
he's
now?
not watching this right now because this won't show up.
He'll then wear his
until
geek pants to
sometime next
work? That's nice.
week. He's a closet geek.
He's a closet geek?
He says all these old shows, and because I'm a geek, I'm like, oh, yeah, that show. I fucking know that show. That show. And he's like, yeah, I like, you know all those old shows. And I'm like, yep, because I watched a lot of TV and movies.
Yep. Because why go outside?
Check out this tan front that I got from camping. Do you see a tan, or do you see right through my fucking arm? Yeah, but you know what else you don't see? Mosquito bites.
That's
Oh,
true.
shit.
That's true.
That's right.
They don't like the white meat out there?
Oh, they love the white meat, but they don't
okay.
like 2 layers of clothing and bug spray, jeans, hat.
You must have looked ridiculous.
Oh, I actually looked pretty
Walking
cool.
around like this?
No, but
Did you look cool?
I actually kind of thought like I looked like I was hiding from the government while I was camping. Hat down, glasses on,
That's
covered
great.
up.
That's great.
Yeah, dark colors too, like it was blue and blue.
Oh, man.
I'm a hardcore camper too.
No mosquitoes! Well, I mean, you got enough bites in Mexico to last you a while.
Yeah, but those weren't too bad because while they're really bad in the heat and the humidity, as soon as we got to our air-conditioned room, they were gone, like almost immediately.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not bad.
You know, like
Kind of wish we had an air conditioning room right now.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think at some point we'll be going. It smells like swass in here. Swass,
Mm-hmm.
sweaty ass. Just so we're clear.
Sweaty ass.
Yeah.
One day when we release this in 4D, you can smell that yourself.
4D. That's That's ridiculous. Like, if that's what they're working for the industry,
Man, it's
I don't
happening.
need to smell shit.
It's happening.
when
I went
I'm
to like
watching
a
movie.
Marvel 4D thing in New York, and it was ridiculous. Like
It is
water was
ridiculous.
splashing on your face. There was scents. Wolverine like clawed one guy in the back, so then I got clawed knives in the back. Like it popped out of
That's
the
too
seat.
much.
It was too much. It hurt my back.
I guess so.
Didn't feel good.
That would not. I would.
Didn't feel good.
But then again, I'm also like not the hugest fan of 3D
Mm-hmm.
because I watch movies, so I've seen those dark futures where you've got the dude that's literally just sitting on virtual reality, where his virtual reality life is awesome, but his real life is he's just this huge stinking pile of grossness.
Ready Player One.
I haven't seen that yet,
It's kind of
but that's
along those lines.
yeah,
They're
you're
all in
hiding
their
from
VR
the real
world.
life.
Or Wall-E, we're just a bunch of fatties
Also haven't
floating
seen
around.
that one.
You haven't seen Wall-E?
No,
Oh man.
I watched Short Circuit 1 and 2 though.
All right, that's awesome. That's pretty awesome.
It
Yeah.
is. And you know what's great too is I watched those movies again, and they still hold up pretty well.
I haven't watched those since I was a kid.
The jump from the first, like the sequel, is weird. Like when he's not hanging out with the previous crew that he was, and he runs into the one. What's his face? I can't remember his name. He's a white guy playing an Indian.
I remember people talking about that.
And I heard,
Yeah,
like, I didn't know
would
that at the
totally
time.
fly over today.
And then oh.
Yeah.
Well, they wouldn't even cast him. They would just cast him as a white guy.
Yeah.
Even like in the remake, he'd be a white guy, and they'd just be like, "Hey, what's the problem? Everyone's white in this movie." It's made by Tyler Harry.
Nice.
Yes.
So this is the MIC Part 2 Camcast.
It is.
And MIC, for the people that aren't special agents out there, means Mission Impossible Camcast. Broke that right down.
Yeah.
See how I
The
nailed that?
suspense that you did was
Riveting.
useless.
Useless.
You built it up to be something else. Like I actually, because even I was going like MIC, was it like the Mission Impossible cinematic universe? But no, it's Camcast. I was like, okay, all right.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they do spin-offs eventually. Tom can't do it forever.
Massive spoilers, just so we're clear.
Oh,
I know 2 of these movies are
yeah.
like years old. One of them's like 3 years. The other one's like 8. 7. Because there's 4 years.
Protocol's 2011, so
Yeah, and then 2015.
7.
So 7.
7 years. Yeah, 7 years.
So massive spoilers, especially for Mission Impossible Fallout. So there's going to be
Spoilers?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
And what
All right.
size are they going to be?
Big, massive.
There you go.
Like Tom Cruise's ego?
I don't know if it's going to be that massive.
Oh, how was Dick?
Is it?
I don't know.
The level of stunts that he's doing at 56 might suggest that he's got a small penis.
Or a really big one.
Also, this just struck me. Why would the next thing you say is penis?
I don't know. I think big. I go right to. He doesn't have boobs.
Okay.
I mean, I could go with brain, but the guy's jumping out of helicopters at 56. So
Yeah, you know what though? He is really smart though. I actually will touch upon this as we go through the different movies and stuff like that. But he's really smart. Also, I'm going to say this really quick. So, because, I needed something to really help solidify my justifiable hate for Mission Impossible 2. Yeah.
And?
It's a remake of an Alfred Hitchcock movie.
What?
Yeah.
Which one?
I can't even remember. I wanted to write it down, and then I didn't, so I have to break the rule so early. But I couldn't believe it, and there's actually an article that breaks it down. It's pretty notorious, I think that's what it was called.
I have a hard time believing that Hitchcock pulled off an awesome motorcycle scene.
No, but there is a bunch of okay. Here
The whole chimera thing, like the viruses.
Yeah, there's parts
girl
that are
gets injected
different. But did you know Mission Impossible 2 is a remake of Hitchcock's Notorious?
Notorious.
Yep.
Heard of it.
There's even a bunch of scenes with similarities. Now, the article actually goes in depth. It is fairly close.
You'll have to send me that link so I can post in this video.
I will do
So
just
people
that.
watching can read it For the people listening, too fucking bad for you.
Yeah. Or maybe you'll edit it in post and you'll verbally say it.
Maybe.
But probably not.
HTTPS.
I almost think you should do it now because
Should I?
it's pretty fucking funny.
What the fuck is that called? Dash.
So, lastly, I'll say this one final time.
All right.
Massive spoilers for what Kenneth calls the new era of Mission Impossible.
Yes, the new era trilogy.
We do away with numbers. We actually do subtitles.
Yes, and they're spaced apart more evenly. They don't come out every 5, 6, 7 years.
Yep. And there's none of this.
And Tom Cruise keeps short hair for 2 movies in a row.
What? Shortish. Yeah.
Kind of in-betweeny.
Yeah.
Did I just say in-betweeny?
You did say in-betweeny.
I like it.
Alright, well, you heard it here first. He just
In-betweeny!
New word.
Future Geek Pants shirt.
Fucking Christ.
But before we jump into Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol,
I am taking off the shirt.
I figured you would. You lasted longer than I thought you were going to.
Didn't. Wow. Oh. The visual's good enough.
And you're wearing gray underneath too, which is perfect because now if you're drenched, it's just going to show your nipples.
Boob sweat.
Big fucking...
Just a little like blah.
I'm just going to say Electro and Sandman are drooling a lot.
Okay. Alright.
Alright, we're good.
Okay.
How you feeling?
A little bit cooler.
Good.
Little bit cooler. How are you?
I'm still warm. But this delicious iced coffee from Tim Hortons that you bought for me.
You know why? Because it is always refreshing.
Oh, or Touget's. Why is it the French guy should be reading this?
I'm not even going to say that.
All right, good. Anyway, super fattening and super cold, and I love it. We have 2 questions today.
Yes! 2 more questions.
We should start calling this, we should have a segment
Like an
name
actual segment?
for this, Geek Chat. Or Talking with the Geeks.
Talking with the Geeks?
The Geeks.
The Geeks.
The Geeks. No? Not feeling that?
How about just, here's 2 questions from Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Or the Instagram questions.
Instaquestions.
Instaquestions. That's hard to say, actually.
Instaquestions.
It's our weekly Instaquestions. Boom.
All right.
Actually, that...
Instagram.com/GeekPantsMedia. Send us some questions. Also, Twitter.com/GeekPantsMedia. Also, Facebook.com/GeekPantsMedia. Send us questions. We like questions. Not many followers on Twitter. It's disappointing.
But it's Twitter, though.
Gives me a lot smaller ego than Tom Cruise, that's for sure.
Yeah, but it's Twitter,
It's
though.
Twitter.
Like,
it's Twitter.
I don't even think, it's really just celebrities that are getting followed on Twitter.
Right.
Twitter, that's it.
And half of them who left since the James Gunn incident. So,
I saw someone
you don't even have much
fuck this, I'm out.
Fuck this, I'm out.
No.
From George Maldonado. Maldonado. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, man.
Is it George or is it Jorge?
It could be. No, it's George. Now you're making me question. I swear it's George. It's G-Box.
It's G-Box?
G-Box is his nickname. He's a high-def ninja guy. All right? I met him in Austin, Texas. Awesome dude. Known him for years.
George or Jorge Maldonado.
Guy, why are you putting that in my head now? No, it was George. All right. Question. Are you ready?
Of course.
Why do you think WB is holding off on a Snyder cut of JL? Do you think it'll be released?
I think they're holding off mainly because they said that it was only like a 20% reshoot. 15-20%. Okay. And they were hoping that most people wouldn't be able to see the difference. Do I think that it'll ever get shown? Not anytime soon. Even though I think it's stupid because, I paid full pop.
Yes.
For Batman v Superman, the extended
cut.
Okay, I paid full pop for that. And I would have done the same thing for Justice League. But having said that, If they re-released it, $20, $30, I would buy it. I would flat out.
Oh, I would definitely.
And I wouldn't go like, I want a discount because I
Yeah.
purchased Justice League. No. I would flat out buy it.
I would support
Okay, so like, and even if it's similar to the Donner cut, where there's some shots that you could tell are finished and shot beautifully, and other shots you could tell was a fucking audition from Christopher Reeves where he's super thin and lanky, you know, I would still watch that because, like I said before, I don't hate Justice League at all.
Yeah. But
I do feel like if they let Snyder do his cut, minus the female Robin and actually having Dick Grayson be the Robin that was killed, because he's recently said that in an interview.
Yeah.
Because I don't like that idea.
Well, he was kind of going that way with Jenna Malone, right? Wasn't he kind of setting her up?
I think part of it was, like, I don't think he was setting her up, because her character in Batman v Superman is a quick one.
Yeah.
I think what happened was that people, us fans, went, Jenna Malone's in this movie? She kind of looks like Carrie Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna be fucking Robin. You know what I mean? I think that's where that happened with. And then they were just kind of like, well, I guess that's more people that'll watch the movie, so let's just... But it's even funnier because they did all that talking. She's not even in the theater cut.
No, she's
only see her in the extended
and it's very
cut,
quick.
And it's very quick. And it is like that part. Her character didn't have to be in the movie.
No, that's why I think she was going to be something greater in the future, because
maybe
it was so quick, and it's just like, why even bother? That could have been played by anyone.
Yeah, exactly. But like, so I do feel like it's gonna be shown, but they're dumb. Like, if they actually have a cut, they're stupid for not letting it go, because, like, again, like I've said, like I almost feel like the stuff that would have happened would have had more weight, you know. Although I do feel like they probably would have had Superman kill people.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
possible.
And I'm like,
how long did it take for us to get the Donner cut of Superman 2?
20 years.
20 years?
Yeah.
Okay, so hopefully sooner than
Yeah, but that's what I mean. And and people paid full price for they paid $30 for the Donner cut.
Yeah. Oh, you know? Yeah.
I mean, and I wouldn't have blinked at that. Like I said, like, even if that's just the movie too, like, no special features, no nothing.
Yeah.
You know, I would have, I'd buy it in a heartbeat just to see how that plays out. Because, like, but then again, I also would have said that, like, if they would have had an extended cut of Justice League where it was 2.5 hours, I think that would have helped the movie be a bit better too.
I honestly don't think we're ever going to see a Snyder cut. I do think we could possibly see an extended edition with some shots that might be floating around that both Snyder and Whedon worked on.
Okay.
But an official Snyder cut, I don't think they have enough in the can for that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough to say, though.
It's hard to say. And I mean, honestly, I think there's something more behind this, too.
Because he shot 4 hours of Batman v Superman.
Yeah. This guy, like, Warner Brothers loved this guy for years. He gave him 300, big hit. Gave him Watchmen. And then they let him, like, do a freaking 5-hour version of Watchmen.
Yeah. Well, that, and I honestly, I think part of it was they started to sour with Man of Steel.
It's possible.
Because, only because Man of Steel 2 then suddenly became Batman v Superman. It was originally Man of Steel 2. It was a sequel. There was no talk of another Batman movie.
That was WB. I guarantee you WB wanted Batman.
But that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying, like, part of that is Man of Steel not doing as well critically and financially as well as they expected.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the other part was reactionary to Civil War. Okay. Because, like we talked about before, Civil War was announced, and then they're like, Superman 2's got Batman.
Yeah, right.
And then it was exactly. Like, Wonder Woman.
It was almost instantly.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and it was fairly quick like that, and then it was, then they did that back and forth with the dates. Yeah, we're here. And then DC was like, okay, we're actually back here. We're going to take this spot here. So yeah, actually I agree with that. I agree, like, we're not going to get an official Snyder cut. You're right. They're going to... They will do an extended.
Yeah, there's something more going on there. Because, I mean, they gave him the DC Universe after Sucker Punch bombed. Okay, they let him do Sucker Punch. It bombed. They let him do Legends of the Guardians, that owl cartoon.
Right, yeah.
That bombed.
Yeah.
Then they gave him the DC Universe. I mean, yeah.
Man of Steel. The other part of the problem, though, is that they teamed him up with David Goyer.
Right, yeah.
And he was coming hot off the heels of the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah.
But David Goyer was working with Batman, who's a darker character, for one. He was also working with Christopher Nolan, who also had the balls and the stones, or so to speak, to just be like, no, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
We'll do some of the stuff you want to do. We're not going to do all of that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know why Goyer was involved in Man of Steel.
Because even, like, they...
Should have been Jeff Johns, if anything.
I'm a little bit pissy with Jeff Johns right now.
Right now, yeah, but I mean, at that time...
At that time, I probably would have been like, oh, okay.
All right. He worked with
because his secret origin,
before,
his secret origin was really good for Superman, you know? And I mean, like, he could have at least said, well, if we're going to be using a lot of Mark Waid's Birthright, you know, and have elements of Grant Morrison's All-Star Superman, well, you know, maybe we could go this route. Because I love the interview, the parts where they were saying, like, when Snyder and Goyer were saying, yeah, Christopher Nolan didn't want Superman to kill Zod. He was like, well, you just can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then they were like, well, I mean, he has that rule about how you never kill. Well, this will be why. So he kills, and then he never kills again. And I remember we saw, I said, that's the dumbest rationale ever.
Yeah.
You use a farm aspect to explain this. He's had to put down a rabid coyote because they're killing the thing, and he can't do it, so his dad does it, and that's going to stay with him. So in this case, he realizes that Zod's rabid, puts him down, doesn't want to do it, but he puts him down because he doesn't see any other way at that point. In that earliest stage of his career, then I can get behind that. Then I can go, okay, that makes perfect sense. You know, I'm still not as against the death, like him killing Zod, as I was in the theater. But it's still like, why would you put him in that situation anyway? Mm-hmm. You know, but I mean, he's new and all this other stuff.
Yeah, so, there's a lot of factors.
But yeah, I agree with you. I think that we may get an extension.
I've warmed up to the killing of Zod over time. I still don't like it, but I mean,
I don't like it, but I'm not like
it wasn't instant. Like I wasn't like, oh, what the fuck? When I walked out there, like I was shocked.
I was like, no, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And then
just
they
like,
did it. And like I've said before,
I was just like,
if they didn't have the scene where he screams right afterwards, you know, then I would have hated it. I would have absolutely hated it. But they had the scene where he's just like, no, because you could just feel like he doesn't want to do this, and he does it. You know, but at least if you had the farm aspect, you do the flashback scene. Yeah. Show him not killing the coyote, and his dad's just like, I gotta kill the fucking coyote.
It helps that Lois Lane, like, teleported into the scene right afterwards, too. Just, oh, baby, what you do?
But hands down, I would love to see a Snyder cut. I'd love to see the Snyder cut. I would love to see an extended cut.
Yeah. I don't believe he was fired because his daughter was murdered.
I thought she committed suicide.
Yeah, okay. She died.
Either way, this is horribly tragic.
Yeah, and then like he was fired. That doesn't make any sense to me. I think there's something deeper going on there.
There has to be, because we got the one story where he stepped down. He graciously stepped down because of the tragedy. Mm-hmm. Then some other jerk off comes up and goes, no, he was actually fired. Yeah. And it's just like, well, who the fuck are you? Mm-hmm. And also, why bring this stuff up? Yeah. You know? So,
anyways, I don't think we'll ever see it. Not a 100% Snyder cut.
No, you're right.
I don't think there's enough footage. Yeah. Okay, and Tom Cruise as co-star with the Starjammers in a future Guardians of the Galaxy film. Go.
Yes. Why not?
Yeah, right?
Just imagine him with mustache.
Yeah. Just swashbuckling space pirate.
Yeah, and especially now that Disney owns, 90 or all of Marvel? No, 90% of Marvel.
Good chunk of it.
Yeah.
They don't have...
There's chunks of Paramount.
They don't 100% have Spider-Man.
Well, that's what I mean. So 10% of the Marvel Universe is still... 5% is a partnership. The other 5 is... Namor?
That's how it goes.
Submariner.
Yeah, 1.5%.
Yeah. I
don't know.
But yeah, fuck it. Why not? I mean, that would.
I want to see Tom Cruise in a superhero movie, though. I'm thinking it's probably
Starjammers just would never happen.
Starjammers is never going to happen.
Because, I mean, the X-Men as a property, I don't feel is ever going to go
that route.
far enough into space
Yeah.
to introduce Leandra and the Shi'ar Empire and the Starjammers.
I'm pretty sure they're
and
introducing
Gladiator.
them.
Oh, really?
In the next X-Men movie, which will
Like
lastly
Phoenix?
be the last X-Men film for
Oh,
Fox.
okay. So then,
Starjammers won't be in that.
What would be the point of even showing?
Because then we're gonna get like friggin' like I talked before, like Tony Stark mutants or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I really don't know how.
I want to see Tom Cruise's Superman movie, but
I'd almost say like let's introduce Fantastic Four first, and then have Reed Richards accidentally open up a pocket dimension into the previous X-Men universe. Take whatever cast that you can, bring them over, and go from there.
I like that.
At least at that point, because then the fans that watched all the X-Men movies can go, okay, I don't have to go through a recast or a character change because I followed all of these characters. Okay, great, let's do that. You know? That's another way that you can reintroduce Wolverine.
Yep.
Grab him from another pocket dimension.
Exactly.
Or grab a younger Wolverine.
X-23.
You know, X-23, same thing.
Pull her in.
You know?
Deadpool. What the shit?
Yeah, exactly.
It's endless, really. I do think we will see Tom Cruise in the DC universe before we see him in the Marvel universe. Especially
Why do you say
since
that?
they're talking to Christopher McQuarrie. They want him on Man of Steel 2.
I know, and he said he'd do it.
Or Green Lantern Corps.
He fucking do both.
Because apparently I read today, Tom Cruise would be interested in playing Hal Jordan.
I could definitely see that. Could you picture him with a bit of the white?
Yeah.
With a bit of the white there? Oh my god.
I mean, he's already halfway there with the Top Gun movies.
I, like, honestly, especially, and I was in with Macquarie after Rogue Nation, but even when the interviews for Follow came out, and he was like, I would love to do a Man of Steel 2 with Cavill, I was like, okay, let's do it. Just fucking do it. And if that means that we'll get Tom Cruise as Hal Jordan, I mean, that'll be amazing. And for once, he doesn't have to almost kill himself in a movie.
Yeah.
Because that'll be 90% CGI, except I hope his costume's real.
Yeah. No. Yeah. He'll be like, no, you know what? Instead of CGI, tie me to the back of that jet and just fly me around.
He would, actually, because he's so, like, he is very, very practical effects guy.
Yes. And that's the beautiful thing about
analog.
Fallout.
I didn't realize that all of his movies are shot in analog, nothing shot in digital, because he hates the way it looks. That's crazy.
It's amazing.
That's actually one of the things I was going to mention. I get the impression that Tom Cruise, because we said this, first of all, I think he's really smart. He's got an excellent eye for talent. Okay, because we mentioned in the last Camcast, he produces all his own movies. So, like, even just this franchise that was never supposed to be a franchise, he's produced every single one of them, and he's looking at, like, okay, you're big now, and these are big actors now, and even the way once we get to Follow, you really get the sense that he's just kind of went, all right, yeah, this is perfect. You know, I mean, even the fact that they got Macquarie for the first ever sequel, or not sequel per se, but to do back-to-back IMF movies.
I don't want to see another director on these movies now. I honestly hope he comes back.
Especially because Macquarie made a point. He even said in interviews, I've read so much on this movie.
I bet you have.
That, like, he's even said in interviews that he purposely wanted to do a different type of movie. Like, he wanted it to seem like a different director directed this, you know? And I'm just like...
And he nailed it.
Oh, my God.
He nailed it. I mean...
You watch Rogue Nation and you're like, this is fucking amazing. You don't realize... You don't necessarily have to know it's the same director because you're just like, holy shit.
I know. It's great.
Yes, I say yes to Hal Jordan. Yes to the Green Lantern Corps. I emphatically would love Macquarie to be on Man of Steel, especially with that helicopter scene. Just, like, even just the action scenes. Could you imagine how cool it would look to have a practically shot Superman movie with moderate CGI? Huh.
That's a great thought.
Huh.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
So, that was our Instaquestions. Or, what do we call it? Was it Instaquestions?
Questions from Instagram.
Yeah! All right.
All right.
We're heading into 2011's Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol.
What came out around 2011? What year was Skyfall?
Skyfall might have been 2011 as well. Ghost Protocol came out at Christmas. I remember that. because it had a small opening.
That's right. It was one of the only ones that came out at Christmas.
Yeah, it opened on
else is
Christmas
summertime.
Day or something.
Yeah.
It had a very small opening.
That's right. I think that Skyfall came out right before that.
November, I think, right?
It was a November
Bond
movie.
is November all the time.
It was definitely a November movie.
Yeah.
Michelle and I went and saw that. It was like the first like big geek movie that she watched with me in the theater. It was like, this movie was better than I thought it would be. And I was like, this movie was better than I thought it would be. This is fucking amazing.
You tested her out right there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Let's see how she reacts to me after this movie.
Yeah, when I'm just like,
You accept me like this?
Oh my god!
Oh, yes.
But, anyway. So, one of the things I really liked about... Okay, so first of all, like, I actually liked that they got away from the number sequence.
Yeah, at first I was kind of like,
It threw me for a loop, and a lot of the stuff in Ghost Protocol does still kind of throw me for a loop, but, I mean, not so much now, but it did when I first watched it. But, like, it almost gives it a timeless aspect.
Yes.
Okay? Also, because this is the fourth in the franchise, by having no numbers, it almost makes it okay for you not to watch the other movies.
Exactly.
You know, like, they talk about it in comics all the time where they say, like, well, you know, when you get to, like, Action Comics 1001, it seems really daunting for a new, a new comic book reader to buy into that, because now they're looking at it like, well, now I gotta read 1,000 issues worth of Action Comics to be brought up to speed. Even though that's dumb, that's stupid, you should never ever do that.
Yeah.
Look for a new writer and then pick up where
exactly
he goes from. But, whatever, that's the argument. But I can see it in movies where like, you might go, oh, geez, Mission Impossible 4. I haven't seen any Mission Impossibles. I'm not going to know what's going on. Fuck. Right? Because, like, the Bond movies never do that.
No.
They unofficially number them. Like, you know that the new one, Shatterhand, is Bond 25. You know that because they talk about it. But they're always just a title. They're never an actual number. And that works for them because then you can just kind of, if you watch a Bond movie, okay, great. If you don't, okay, great.
I always loved how Bond had a different title every time. It wasn't like James Bond Moonraker. It was just Moonraker.
Yeah, and I like that.
And I thought that was really neat, you know, because, I mean, if you're just looking at titles on a shelf, you're not going to know it's a Bond movie until you pull it out. And you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel this works for Mission Impossible, especially because, like, you're literally, like, on the side, it's MI.
Yeah, well, I mean, they started with Mission Impossible 1, 2, 3, so, I mean, it'd be weird to just be like, this is Ghost Protocol.
Yeah, exactly. It would be weird.
It'd be weird.
You're right.
So...
You're right. But, so I liked that, even though it was kind of jarring. Like, in retrospect now, I'm like, yeah, that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
The opening sequence I thought was really cool.
The prison?
No, the actual opening sequence with Paul Patton. When they show what's his face? Josh...
Oh, Josh Holloway.
Holloway.
Yeah, well, they were kind of doing like a flashback scene showing that part.
Oh, right, yeah. The person seems right.
They started with just him. They showed him dying.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So they show that.
And then they went to the prison thing.
They show him, and so immediately you see a different character, different spy character. You see Paul Patton's character, Jane Carter, and then of course you see Léa Seydoux, the Sabine, the assassin.
Right.
So she kills Paul Patton's boyfriend, husband, or whatever, and that sparks the motivation for her character and her story arc, which I liked, even though I disliked Paul Patton throughout the entire movie.
Yeah, she felt very out of place in this movie. I mean, I like her, and compared to the team he had in Mission Impossible 3, I was like, okay, she's not as bad as them. So,
but
I was
still,
okay with it.
like I said in Mission Impossible 3, because I've alluded to how much I did not like her in this movie.
Yeah.
They could have kept
Maggie Q.
Yeah, Maggie Q, and had the exact same story arc.
They could have.
I mean, okay, they didn't, but whatever.
I was a little with the Josh Holloway. I was happy to see him because I love that guy from Lost. You know, he's a great actor. But when he was on the screen, like right off the bat, I was just like, oh, I hope I don't get that TV feel again with this.
Yeah,
right? Because I was like,
funny
oh man, are we doing TV actors again?
The more I thought about it, when you mentioned the whole like J.J. Abrams TV feel with Mission Impossible 3, I remember thinking to myself, like, the more I thought about it, I was like, yeah, it actually did kind of feel like a made-for-TV movie.
Yeah.
You know, which is a shame, like, that's his first big movie, but then again, it led to him doing Star Trek, which was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
That's another one we should do soon.
Star Trek. And they went to Super 8. I love Super 8. You ever seen Super 8? You haven't seen his Spielberg throwback movie.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
That's the same reaction you gave me the first time I told you I haven't seen it.
Really?
I think what you do
We had this conversation
you
before?
immediately delete it, so that way you're
So
like,
I can throw the
you're
reaction
so
back.
angry. You're
Throw the
so
reaction back.
mad, and then you're just like, I can't say mad at him.
Okay.
Delete.
Delete.
Or sorry, delete.
So yeah, no, but
I like that because it was a different intro, because normally we see Ethan doing Ethan things.
Yeah.
You know, like either like his wife's getting killed in front of him, or he's rock climbing, you know, or his whole team's getting killed around him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it was a different little take, but then it leads into the Russian prison sequence, which was fucking awesome.
that was so great.
That's a really cool
That's
way
so
to
great.
reintroduce
He's talking to Benji on the camera.
Just boom.
And Benji's
the
like,
ball,
I'm not opening that door.
And it's
I'm
just,
not opening the door.
you know, and you're just like, okay, open the fucking door.
Yeah.
You know? And the whole sequence, too, where, like, he's kind of fighting these guys, but he's just trying to get past them without causing too much of a ruckus, just to get the Bogdan guy out of there, which you don't realize at the time. It seems like a throwaway thing, but he serves a purpose later on.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
And that's one of the things, too, that I gotta say, which is the step up. This, I feel, is the start of better written movies, better plotted movies, better action movies, and better character movies.
Yeah.
I feel like everything from 4 beyond just keeps going like this.
It keeps climbing.
You know?
It gets better and better and better, and it's consistent. It feels like an ongoing story, because, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit here, but we do get a tease of the Syndicate at the end of this.
That's right.
They mention it.
That's right.
And that made me really happy. So basically, like, I guess you could call this almost the Syndicate trilogy if you want.
You could, yeah.
Even though
Actually,
we're obviously going to get a 7th with a continuing story. But I like that story going through.
Right, and but it's really cool, too, because they don't necessarily have to do, like, Mission Impossible 7 doesn't have to have anything to do with the Syndicate or the Apostles.
Right, they can
which
sit
we'll get
that
to.
one
We'll
out.
get to that.
Yeah.
But it could come back, or it could never happen.
Yep.
You know, or it could be like a 30-second smash, like in Avengers Age of Ultron, where they're just like, yeah, they're out there, and then 3 minutes later, like, they're done. We saved the world.
Mm-hmm.
Sokovia hates us, but fuck them.
Yep. Throwaway movie.
But the prison sequence is really, really cool.
Yes.
And they do a good job of showing Luther. Right away, you see Luther.
Not
no,
a
wait,
protocol.
hold on, sorry, no, never mind.
No, they leave Luther for the end.
I'm getting mixed up, that's right.
They did Brandt.
Brandt, that's right.
Is that who we're going with, Jeremy Renner?
Brandt, Alec Baldwin is introduced.
No, Rogue Nation was Alec Baldwin.
I'm so mixed up now. This is embarrassing. I'm so mixed up.
Because
it's Wilkinson, Tom Wilkinson.
Yes.
He's the senator.
Yes.
That's right. And Brandt is his right-hand man.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I apologize, Geek Pants.
And that's okay, though,
Nation.
because these movies are so just, like, in sync with each other. It's easy to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, yeah, because, like, that's right. This was the first one where they officially, like, shut it down.
Yeah.
They're like, no, I have to shut down IMF.
Yeah.
This is it. We're all officially disavowed.
Yeah.
And then it's like, and then he gets killed. Like, he's like, you gotta make it look good.
Yeah.
But then he gets killed, and then they go in that underwater sequence, and Ethan takes the flares.
Yeah, with the
sends
dead body.
out, and I love that Brandt's just like,
how did you know that was going to work?
how did you know? Like, why would that work? How did you know? And he's just like, they were just shooting. They needed a moving target.
Yeah.
And you get the feeling like he doesn't want to say, I didn't really know that it was going to work. I was just trying something. You know? But I thought that was kind of interesting, and it felt like that was the first time that they started doing like a meta commentary on the Mission Impossible movies and Spies as a whole without being like hammy about it. Like,
exactly.
to the camera.
Yes.
Because you know there's people in the audience that are going like, yeah, but why the fuck would that work? Why would strapping flares to a body underwater work when it makes no sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I'm trying not to get shot, why would I have, like, flares around me?
Yeah.
Right? And then to have Ethan kind of be like, I didn't really know that was going to work. I just did it.
Never know till you try.
You know, and that's also the first real hint that this massively confident character that is Ethan Hunt. Like, you see him being confident through the other movies, but this is the first where you just kind of see him almost trying things, and they just work, and he's just like, they're gonna work. It's just gonna work, and that's that. And introducing the Brandt character, which I thought was really cool.
Brandt was great.
Yeah.
I mean,
really great.
He meshed with the guys great.
And his story arc was actually really good too. I like that.
Yes. Very
And
good.
they don't touch upon it right away, but they hint that he's not necessarily an analyst.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Which I think is funny because it seems like anytime you're a spy, your cover is you're an analyst.
Mhm.
You know? But anyway, whatever. So he's an analyst with something else behind him.
Yeah.
Right? Wilkinson's being in and out was just kind of like the...
It was like all the other guys.
Yeah, like
you know,
Lawrence
he was the
Fishburne
Lawrence
and
Fishburne, Anthony Hopkins. of this
Anthony
movie.
Hopkins, all of those. But I'm just a sucker for Wilkinson. Like, I really like
Yeah.
him as an actor.
He is a great actor.
He is so good.
So that was a nice little treat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I enjoyed seeing Simon Pegg as a field agent.
Yeah, actually, the first time around, I thought it was kind of neat. One of the things I really liked, too, was how nothing really worked. Like, the actual gadgets didn't really work.
Yeah.
You know, and it leads to that great line where, like, Ethan goes, nothing worked except for this team.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh, man, that's sweet. That's sweet. But story-wise, it is a better story than the previous three. Not much, though.
Not much. I'm amazed. Like, this is a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. They're all in the 90s, this trilogy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
right off the bat, it shows you.
Well, yeah.
I'm amazed by how many people think this is the best Mission Impossible. Still, even after
I
Fallout.
agree. Like, we keep talking about that, especially even, like, after Rogue Nation, because... And admittedly, I wasn't the hugest fan of Ghost Protocol.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And, I mean, of the three movies, it is my least favorite. Flat out. I will say this.
Of the new trilogy? Yes.
Yeah, it is my least favorite, but I do like it more than I did.
Yeah.
Because of all these little things that they were doing. And maybe it's because I'm far enough removed, and maybe it's because of Rogue Nation and stuff they did in Rogue Nation and it continued on into Fallout that I'm kind of like more receptive to it, or at least I'm picking it up more now. But I like the fact that, I like that the story is an actual, like, beginning, middle, and end story.
Yes.
You know, and each character has beginning, middle, and end, so to speak, except for Ethan. He doesn't really have that, but up until recently, he's never really needed it.
Ethan's story in this, I had no idea where it was going to go because because
he's married at the end,
and his wife's nowhere to be found. He's in prison. I'm like, what is going on?
And
here?
then they hint and they hint and then they hint.
Then finally you get
get Brant's story where he's just like, I was on a security detail.
Yeah.
I was supposed to protect Julia. She's dead because of me. I didn't tell Ethan this. He doesn't know. And you're like, oh, fuck. Wow. The whole time I'm sitting through Paula Patton and I'm just like, ugh, so terrible. Mm-hmm. I'll get to that. I can't... I don't think I've ever seen her in anything where I thought she was good, though.
Yeah. I mean, she's one of those actresses where I'm like, okay. I don't dislike her.
Okay.
I don't love her either. I mean, she's just like, Paula Patton, okay.
I almost feel like if you switch the roles, and Lea Seydoux was Paula Patton's character,
okay, yeah,
and Paula Patton was the unflinching Terminator assassin, that might have worked better.
That might work better.
Because, I mean, Lea Seydoux is actually a pretty good actress.
Mm-hmm.
She's really good. She's believable in her roles.
Yeah.
I mean, especially because she was believable as assassin in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
She was also believable as, for the most part, as the tough, smart chick inspector.
Yep.
A little bit weird with her I hate you, I love you thing, but... But, I mean, the team in this one was good. As much as I don't like Paul Patton, she was still good enough.
Yes, this was...
Good enough in the team, and I actually was really surprised that she's the one that does not carry over in Rogue Nation.
Yeah, but I think... She was a very one-and-done character, though. Like
her arc was done.
Her arc was done. Like, she wanted justice for her
But, I mean, if
boyfriend
we're looking at... let Ilsa, for instance. If we look at Ilsa's storyline, sure, it took 2 movies to end it, but, I mean, if she doesn't show up in the next movie, people are going to go, what the fuck?
Yeah,
although realistically...
Ilsa's fucking awesome.
Hold on, though, but her story's done.
Yes.
You could argue the same, that it's a one-and-done thing.
You could. But she is fucking awesome.
She is fucking...
I'll argue that.
Yeah. Like, I mean, if we got Paula Patton instead of her, I'd be like... And knowing that we could have gotten that, I'd have been like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
I know.
Rewrite this movie right now.
I know.
But, What else did I have here? I love the Kremlin infiltration scene.
That's a great scene.
Even though one of my complaints about Ghost Protocol is the tech is still it's almost too far.
It's a huge step from number 3.
They go super grounded in number 3.
Yeah.
And then they go, well, hold on, we've got an iPad that I can link up to a projection screen that can now tie into whatever's being shown, so we can actually move forward. And as long as I keep doing this water drop noise, which admittedly after the 4th or 5th, it's funny, but I'm still just like, how dumb is this guy that he's just like,
water. I
can't seem to find the water leak, but I'll keep looking for the water leak, you know. But it was really cool to have like, almost like Ethan Hunt is like training Peg in the field to do the same things that he's doing.
Right.
You know, and he's wearing a mask, but it's not crazy outlandish mask. You can see that it's Tom Cruise, but it's more or less just how he presents himself to get information as to the motivation behind this current new bad guy.
Yeah.
So even though like the tech was a little bit more like, okay, it's still a really cool scene, really suspenseful scene, and enough of the humor breaks it up, but you're still just kind of like, oh shit, like they can get caught at any time.
I really like Ethan and Benji together, and this was was a nice little taste of like, because he was doing the field here, so it made sense that he was screwing up and trying to learn things.
Yeah, but at no point in time is Ethan just like,
yeah,
what the fuck's the matter?
Well, we came close with the projector though, because Benji stands up. And I like that. I really like that because you see him really grow between this and Fallout.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you got? Do you have anything on the Kremlin scene?
The Kremlin scene, not a whole lot on the Kremlin scene. I mean, I dug it.
I liked the explosion.
The explosion was cool.
And then how like Ethan's caught, and then that cop Sidorov.
Yeah.
So they have that cat and mouse
hunts him down the whole movie. Yeah.
Like I even just love the scene where he's at the edge of the building, like he's on the outside, and he's just like, and the cop just starts lighting the cigarette, like, well. And then he sees the truck coming. He's like, all right, I'm going to jump. He's just like, okay. And then he's like, well, shit, he did it.
Yeah.
Damn it. Crap. You got away.
Yeah, I love that.
You know, and that whole back and forth between them was kind of neat. It added an extra bit of suspense to it. They didn't have to do this, but it added an extra bit of suspense. So, like, later on in the Dubai scene, so that whole sequence is crazy intense.
The Dubai scene's amazing.
It is absolutely amazing.
As a whole, like I could look at Rogue Nation and Fallout and be like, I love all these stunts more.
Yeah.
But Dubai as a whole, like that whole sequence is way bigger than anything that shows up in Fallout or Rogue Nation. And it's pretty much mind-blowing beginning to end. Because you get the crazy climbing on the windows, you get the crazy shootout, you get the dust storm, you get the car chasing the dust storm. It's non-stop for like...
And it is crazy. It is a great way to just smash an entire half an hour of that movie.
Yeah.
And like as much as, like again, I'm talking about like the glove tech, where I'm just like, that's a bit much. Mm-hmm. It's still visually cool.
Oh, super cool.
It's incredibly suspenseful because you know that Tom Cruise is doing most of those stunts.
Yeah.
Outside of an actual building in Dubai.
He's nuts.
So the whole time you're like, well, obviously he didn't die because they're showing the movie, but you're still just like, Jesus, look.
I know.
And then immediately that scene leads into the subterfuge scene where he's pretending to be someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And Patton's pretending to be someone else, and they do that double buy.
Yep.
And then it leads to that dust storm chase scene, which is awesome.
Which is so cool. Like, even when he was climbing on the outside of the building, he turns around and he's like, Benji, what is that?
Exactly.
And you just see it rolling in.
And that's probably some of the best foreshadowing I've ever seen in a movie.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, holy shit. And then they do the whole, like, double fake scene.
Yeah.
So you forget all about the sandstorm. Chase happens. Cop shows up. They get outside. Sandstorm. You're like, oh, fuck, that's right. Mm-hmm. And then you're just like, this is crazy. And it looks cool. They got the scarves on and everything. And then you realize that young dude is wearing a mask. And he's actually nameless Russian bad guy.
Yeah.
I can't even remember his name. I tried finding it before I got here, and I couldn't do it.
Nameless Russian bad guy, pretty
much.
Yeah.
You know, John Wick, nameless Russian mob boss. You know?
Michael Nyqvist or Nyqvist or...
Okay.
He's... The villain's name in this is Hendrix.
Yes, that's right, Hendrix. That's right.
A totally forgettable villain.
Totally forgettable villain. And what was his purpose again?
Something to do with a bomb, I think.
Yeah,
like nukes.
Yeah, to get nukes. That's right.
Nukes.
And then it's always about nukes.
He's a great actor, though.
He's a really good actor.
A bad, like,
it's just
a one-dimensional, boring ass villain.
That's right. That's right. Oh, another thing that this part actually really bugged me though was later on in when Brant's now in the field.
Okay.
And they've got the robot, the toy car, so to speak, and it's moving him up and down based on the magnets.
Yes.
I thought that whole sequence was so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was kind of funny.
It was funny.
But it was like I complained about the level of tech. This one took me out of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't like, yeah, but I mean, really, is these kind of gloves real? Okay, not really.
Yeah.
But the scene was so crazy that it was like, okay, fuck it, I don't give a shit. But this one was just like, you couldn't have thought of anything else to get Brand to do. It had to be this weirdo fucking.
Yeah, it was funny, but yeah.
Also,
I was actually reading an article on I think probably Comic Book Resources, the top 20 stunts or stunt scenes or whatever in the Mission Impossible movies. They ranked that like number 6.
Gross.
The Brant scene.
That's gross.
Yeah.
That is absolutely gross.
I know.
I would have put what's his face? Oh man, he was in the first one.
Who?
Didn't even get the credits.
Oh, Emilio.
Emilio's death scene.
Emilio's face getting impaled by elevator.
I would have put that before.
Like,
I would have put
that. Didn't really happen. Really? Have you seen Emilio since?
Poor Emilio. That death scene was so bad he could only do like Mighty Ducks movies, and that was it.
Yeah, that was it. Poor Emilio. Yeah. So Dubai scene, amazing. Nice job by Brad Bird. This was his first live action film.
Yeah.
Like, really weird choice though. Like when they're like Brad Bird's doing the new Mission Impossible, I was like, what? The guy that made Incredibles and the Iron Giant?
Yeah, I remember thinking that too.
All right.
I always forget that he did the Iron Giant, but this was around the time that Incredibles came out, and that was just fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great movie.
That's a great movie.
But yeah, it is a weird pick, but then again, you look at it, it's an ensemble cast in Invincible, you know, so it's an ensemble cast in this one. The Brant revelation to Ethan about what had happened, and he's just like, I'm really sorry, and she's like, it was just a cover. You're like, oh, and they're all just kind of sitting there, hanging out, and then, of course, you see Luther and you see Julia.
Yeah, you see Julia. I was really happy when I saw Luther. It's like, yes!
Yeah!
Yes, if they're going to do the whole movie without him, I was going to be like...
I know!
I mean, later I understood, like, I'm like, well, his character being there would have made much sense.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't have made much sense, and then, like, it ties into later on, like, in Fallout, too.
Mm-hmm.
With the stuff about how he's teaching her how to hide and stuff.
Yes.
And you're just like, okay, alright, that works. Overall, yeah, like, a huge step up from... the third movie, huge step up from the previous trilogy.
Mm-hmm. You
know what I mean? And yeah, like I said, like you said, actually, the fact that they mention the Syndicate at the very end.
Yes.
So they immediately tease it. And it's great because, again, they didn't have to go that route.
Nope.
You know? And then they did, and, you know. So, for me, personally, the Paula Patton, bad guy, Hendrix.
Yep.
And... I mean, admittedly, we understand why Luther was kept till the end, but I still don't like it. Those are the 3 big things that I don't like about the movie. Those are the big ones. The tech being a little bit more outlandish is only jarring because the third was trying to keep as grounded as possible. Mm-hmm. I mean, really, the only out there tech was the
brain chip.
The brain bombs and the fact that they were scanning the masts in the field.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know. But overall, I mean, the action was crazy, absolutely crazy. The story, like I said, it made more sense. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really say much else. I mean,
no, I mean, I enjoyed the hell of Ghost Protocol.
Part of me doesn't want to say like it's a 93%, but I can't see any reason why it's not 93%.
I put it at 93.
Don't think it's the best.
I would put Rogue Nation at a 94.
Yeah, I would probably be at a 94, 95.
Because it's also a 93.
I'd put it in 94, 95, possibly 96.
Yeah.
Because there isn't anything in the Rogue Nation that I don't like.
Same.
Do you have anything else to say about
Ghost Protocol? I'm done with Ghost Protocol. I want to dive into the Rogue Nation.
I like that.
Yeah?
Because of the water scene.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright.
You only wrote notes for Ghost Protocol?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's the one I watched least. Which is telling you so much.
The notes for the other two are in here.
Because literally, Fallout came out on Thursday.
Yeah, and you've already seen it more.
I've already seen it more than I watched Ghost Protocol.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. We got 2 more Mission Impossibles, and I'm feeling the swass.
Hold on. Nope.
No,
we're still good.
You're doing good.
We're still good.
Gray's holding up.
Yeah.
Okay, Rogue Nation.
Yeah.
I just want to say that finally, this film gives us the perfect IMF team.
Yeah. Okay.
Finally.
Like, I'm going to say this, though. So, the opening sequence for Ghost Protocol was different.
Different.
And cool.
Yeah.
The opening sequence for this one, different. Awesome.
Awesome. Very Bond-esque.
Yeah. Very Bond-esque.
This is what that opening sequence really doesn't have much to do with the rest of the movie.
But this year, that year that movie came out, it was Spectre, it was Jason Bourne, and it was Rogue Nations.
Right.
Okay? And at the time, of the 3, I would have said Bourne will be the best, Bond will be the second, Rogue Nations will still be really good, because the trailers looked amazing.
Yes.
They'll still be really good, but that'll be the order.
Yeah.
And that's mainly because I'm also, I've always been more of a Bourne than a Bond guy, even though Daniel Craig's Bond is more Bourne than ever, but still. And also, I feel like the best Bond.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, hands down, Daniel Craig is the best Bond. Even Inspector. We'll get to those guys, too.
Yeah, we'll do the Daniel Craig run.
But who, I don't even think you would have guessed that out of the 3, and be honest, of the 3, which one did you think was going to be the best out of all 3?
Spectre.
Yeah. Okay.
But I was expecting Bourne to be the worst.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
It was.
You were. It was.
It was.
It was. Spectre
Trailers.
Gave a really good run for its money.
I was really excited. Paul Greengrass coming back, Matt Damon coming back. First trailer, I was just like, I'm feeling nothing from this.
Well,
I felt
trailer
nothing from the trailer.
where they did the one
the
punch trailer.
bulldozing through Las Vegas and everything. I was just like, it was one of those situations where Bond was affected by Bourne. Jason Bourne's return came out much 3, 4 Daniel Craig movies. That was being affected by Bond.
Yeah, and that's the irony.
And that was the problem.
That was the irony. And also, as much as I hate to say this, because I felt like Matt Damon and Greengrass really understood the character of Bourne and what the Bourne movies really needed, they kind of went in there and said, okay, well, we need this. They had a checklist, so to speak. We need this, we need this, we need this, we need this. And then they're like, well, what about anything else? They're like, we have all this.
Yeah.
And we're back, so...
The major problem was they decided to not work off a book and do it original.
Or not even that. They had... They didn't mend fences with, was it...
Tony Gilroy.
They didn't mend fences with him to get an actual coherent script out of it.
And we talked about this in our Bourne Camcast.
Well, so we won't go...
Is that
sidetracked.
Gilroy tried doing Bourne without them, didn't work.
Yeah.
They tried doing Bourne without him, didn't work.
Exactly.
They might hate each other, but they needed each other.
So for me personally, I thought that Rogue Nations was going to be the least.
Yep.
I thought Bourne was going to be the best. Lo and behold, Rogue Nations...
Reverse orders.
Was amazing.
Yeah.
And, Spectre had the benefit of just not having too much bad shit in there. There's bad shit in there. We will go through Daniel Craig's James Bond movies. We will. But anyway, so Rogue Nations opens with the entertaining sequence. We get Luther back in the man in the chair. We get Benji in the field, hidden. And this is now, you get the best introduction for Ethan Hunt ever.
Yeah, that ginormous plane stunt.
Full on.
Blown on its friggin'...
Just the first introduction, runs in, hero pose, runs to the train, I'll figure it out, gets on the side of a fucking train, and in one clear shot...
Plane.
On the side of the plane.
Plane. You said train.
I said train? Automobile?
Automobile.
Planes, trains?
He does them all.
Automobiles.
Hasn't done a spaceship yet. Waiting for our Moonraker.
I thought you were gonna go Spaceballs and have the John Candy link
Oh.
because of plane, trains, and automobiles and Spaceballs.
And I fucked it up again.
But that's okay because you can't read minds.
No.
So,
And you're a better comedian than I am.
I don't know if I'm a comedian. I just say funny things. Anyway, but that whole
Yes.
he runs in,
Yeah.
hero pose, runs straight to the
Right.
plane,
Love
and
the
then
hero pose.
grabs onto it, and in a continuous shot, you see it leave the ground.
Yeah.
And again, you're just like, this guy's fucking crazy. Not like Ethan Hunt. Ethan Hunt, the character, fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And I love that you do get his motivations at some point. But Tom Cruise is fucking crazy.
He's
Because
nuts.
he's 53 in this movie.
Yeah. He's hanging on. His feet are slowly starting to blow upwards.
Yeah. Now, there's harnesses that we don't see.
Oh, obviously.
There's harnesses that we don't see. But I don't give a shit because you see his feet start to dangle. You see the plane take off.
Yeah.
You literally go, if he lets go, I don't care how good that harness is.
Yeah.
If he lets go,
It's going to hurt.
he's probably dead.
Yeah.
And the whole sequence to get into the... Like, this sequence, I'll admit, largely benefits the movie very little.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's
It's
like,
a cool little sequence.
Yeah.
It's just one of those, like, it's almost like the rock climbing scene in Mission Impossible 2, where you're just like, why was it there? Just to show the kind of craziness that Ethan Hunt is into.
That's it.
But it doesn't really serve much of a plot point to the story. There's
No.
a minor mention of syndicate aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it felt very Bond-esque to me. Because they always do that for the Bond title sequence. Like
Yeah.
his little side thing.
Yeah.
Do-do-do-do. Like,
Well, no, Skyfall's opening intro was directly tied to the movie.
that was.
Yeah.
But for the most part, all Bonds have usually...
And Spectre, their
Down
opening
the-
sequence was tied to the
Mhm.
main crux of the movie. But I guess, like, we'll say before
Beforehand. Yeah.
the Craig movies.
Yeah.
Because,
And I love that. I mean,
yeah,
this was a great opening sequence.
it's a great opening
Like,
sequence.
right off the bat,
It's an
like,
amazing throwaway scene. And
I
you're
was
just like,
smiling because, again, I love the chemistry between Ethan and Benji so much in Ghost Protocol.
yeah.
And immediately you see it here again, where Benji's
It just
like,
feels
run
right.
door, run
Yeah,
door. Oh,
yeah, exactly. You know? But that's the other thing, too, like, they open the wrong door, and so it forces him to go into the
Yeah.
wrong door,
Yeah.
and the guard is literally like, nobody freaks out. That's what I think is funny about the guards. They're not
Yeah.
just, hey, so the hangar door opened for no reason. They're just like, I don't know what to tell you.
Check it out.
I'll go check it out. Yeah, it's open.
Yeah.
There's a dude here.
He's waving at me.
He's taking a shit. I'm just gonna go pretend I got knocked out.
Yeah.
But
It was so funny. The hangar opens, and then the right door opens, and Ethan blows in and almost goes right out again.
which was awesome.
Yeah.
So awesome.
So
yeah, but then it leads into one of my favorite parts of the movie where he goes to the record store,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then goes into the special room, and it's that whole your mission if you choose to accept it. Oh, joke's on you. It's the syndicate, bitch.
Yeah.
And we're going to fuck you up. And
Yeah.
then they throw the glass up, and then Solomon Lane kills her right in front of him.
Yeah.
And then gasses him, and I was just like, because, like, that's a crazy way to subvert expectations. You're immediately going, okay, what's the mission? Oh, shit. The mission is the syndicate is going to destroy the IMF and fuck you up, Ethan.
Mm-hmm.
It's not anyone else. It's your dad.
Yeah.
And I was just like, holy shit. Holy shit. And I mean, even the similarities to Spectre is hilarious, where you have this secret rogue organization.
Yep. Exactly, yeah.
And I remember that was one of the things I said when we watched, we both finally watched it, and I thought, like, man, it's crazy how the plot points are so similar. And Rogue Nation's just nailed it, you know? But yeah, so right away, so then, you know, Hunt's taken prisoner with the bone doctor.
Yep, the bone doctor.
Just these Russian bad, like, all of these guys are just former agents from various different things that have died in the field, so to speak, but that's the cover for them to be part of the syndicate, to basically just destabilize IMF and then do their own thing, be their own IMF.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
is a crazy thought that these extremists, I don't want to say terrorists per se, especially because of what Lane says later on in Fallout, you know, massive spoiler, they don't kill Lane.
I love that too.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
But even so that sequence is really cool, and then the introduction to Ilsa is awesome. Like right away.
I mean, that sequence was great, but I didn't know where it was going to go. Like, I didn't know, like, okay, she's going to come back and she's going to be this huge character in the movie.
No.
And it's going to go into Fallout.
No. You don't know any of that shit.
Yeah.
But even just, like, having Ethan there, shirtless, ready to, like, okay, well, how am I going to get out of this? And then she just kind of, like, tips him off. Right away, he gives her that sly look, and you're like, okay, all right. And then that awesome fight scene where they take out all those guys, and she's starting to do that Black Widow-esque flipping and, like, throat choke thing, grappling, crazy capoeira. I don't even know.
I loved her fighting.
But what I loved is that it made sense for her character to do all these crazy moves, because now it's like, it doesn't matter how big and strong that guy is, it's just, she's using her body weight, his body weight, and everything. And she takes a beating.
Oh, yeah.
It keeps coming back.
Yeah.
Like, crazy good.
Ilsa Foss is amazing.
Yeah, Ilsa Foss is probably one of the best characters that has been created.
Easily.
Like, right up there with Ethan Hunt, where you just like... Now I can't picture a Mission Impossible movie without her.
I know. That's bad.
We talk about how the team now is officially complete, even though she's not part of it.
She's not 100 of... Yeah, she's not part of it.
You know.
She's MI6.
That's right. She's MI6.
Right. So...
And she's got her own story.
Yeah.
But the whole point is to get Lane. That's essentially it.
Exactly. And they're both on the same page
get
in
Lane,
that aspect.
Shut down the Syndicate, even though the Syndicate doesn't exist, and Alec Baldwin is screaming his face off that IMF is a bunch of mask-wearing goons, and all this bullshit about them getting full autonomy is crazy, and Brandon's just like, I can neither confirm or deny.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
IMF. And then it's just like, well, this happened, but I can neither confirm or deny. And I'm just like, yes!
I know.
Yes!
I love that.
You know, and, like, everyone's so good in this movie. And the story, like, just, even the fact that, like, Ethan goes, like, completely off the grid for 6 months. Yeah. You know?
That was really cool.
Yeah.
That whole, like...
he takes off and then, like...
Where'd they go? Thailand or something? Or, the Philippines? They thought he was in the Philippines.
That's
like, he was, like, in France.
Bearded up and everything.
All bearded up.
Yeah. Just doing push-ups and pull-ups and tracking down Lane and the Syndicate. And, like, that was, like, a jarring switch because... You know, it's usually like, and I said in the previous ones, I love how the team is just like, oh, you're doing this, we're in. But I love how, like Benji's off working some bullshit job.
Yeah, he's back in the office. You
know, but he's helping Ethan on the sly, but he's got to do he's got to pass all the lie detector tests.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's a trip to the opera.
Yeah, goes to Vienna.
That's
thinks he's going to an opera. He's not going to
an
opera.
Going to the opera. You know, and then we have that awesome scene where, you know, similar to Quantum of Solace, where Bond is running around behind the stage of the opera.
Yep.
You know, but done so much better again. Like, you know, there's almost no sound effects. It's just the opera. And you see Ethan taking out some guys. Then you see Ilsa looking stunning in that yellow dress. Taking out, like, and it looks like she's going to kill one guy. Yep. And then Ethan stops... Like, takes the guy out, doesn't kill him, and then takes the other guy out, like all these other Syndicate guys, and then rescues her, and they escape together. And what I love about this, too, is that, like, Ethan knows she's MI6, knows she's deep undercover, knows that there's things that she has to do to stay alive, but trusts her. He immediately trusts her.
Yeah.
And so he's willing to let her go off and do the same things and also be there to help her. And another thing, too, is I like how you can see that he's slowly starting to get away from being the lone wolf.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Because the previous 4 movies, yes, he's had a team, but he's always trying to do this by himself. We find out why in Fallout, why he tries to do that, but eventually he starts to trust that the team will be there to catch him when he falls, and vice versa. And I love that we start seeing those elements there. But I also love how we start seeing how the rest of the team is starting to look at Ethan like, you're fucking crazy.
I know.
Like, you're nuts.
So great. Because the Vienna thing, it leads right into this, like, buddy cop movie thing with Ethan and Benji.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. It's action-packed. It's great. It's hilarious.
It's so good.
The car chase is just like, buckle up. And Benji's just like, like just screaming.
You skipped ahead on the vital
Oh, I did.
That because and that's one of the reasons why you start to see Benji looking at him like he's crazy, because they do the underwater.
They do the underwater.
The underwater information swap.
Yes.
Which.
Amazing scene.
Beautifully shot.
Amazing.
Absolutely amazing. And also another movie where Ethan dies again.
Yes.
He dies in number 3. He dies in this movie.
Which is great because it's showing like this guy's not invincible.
Exactly.
He could die at any moment.
You know, like he was invincible in Ghost Protocol.
Yeah.
You never got the sense he was never going to make it. The Rogue Nations literally doesn't make it, you know, and Ilsa has to save him. I keep trying to say Isla, like Isla Sorna. Every single time. I said that a bunch of times in the theater, and I remember just being like, Isla Newborn, Isla Sorna,
Isla Foss.
Third Island. But anyway, so she saves him into the underwater, and the underwater sequence is amazing. Just like even just the thought process behind it.
It's beautifully
They're gonna
shot.
Drop down.
That's very like when I watched this in the theater in 3D, like when he looks over and you see just that hole with all the water pouring into it, like in 3D on a big screen, I was just like, "Whoa,
yeah,
no,
yeah, exactly."
No, how the fuck do you jump into that?
But that's another
willingly?
thing too that I love about this movie, where you actually have him literally be like, "All right, so all I gotta do is I gotta drop down, hold my breath for how long?"
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
What was it? It was like it went from a minute and a half to 2 minutes to 3 minutes.
Yeah, it was like, well, it's a minute and a half, but because you're going to be working against it, you're going to be working harder, so it's actually for 3 minutes. And he's like, okay, so for 3 minutes.
Yeah, you could do that. You're Ethan.
Yeah, and it's just like, all right.
Yeah.
It dives in, and I like that you get the sense that, yeah, he's incredibly confident, incredibly capable. He doesn't want to do this.
No.
He does it because he has to.
Yeah.
He realizes that he has to, but he would rather not. You know, and that's the other thing, too, is, like, and this is similar to Bourne in that, like, he's a spy, but he doesn't want you to know he's a spy. He doesn't really want to engage anybody. He doesn't want anyone to get hurt. It's not like Bond where they're like, okay, you're a spy. Nobody needs to know who you are. And he shows up and he goes, hey, my name's Bond. James Bond. And they're like, your cover was a totally different name. Now they know it's you.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't
Okay,
matter.
that's
I'm
fine.
a spy.
Don't worry about it. Where's my martinis? Come on,
License to kill.
bring on the bitches.
Yeah.
And that's
Bring
one
on
of the things.
bitches.
Yeah, I wish you said
I like it. That'd be great. I want to see that just like a behind the scenes. Bring on the bitches.
But like that's one of the things that I love the Bond movies. But I always hate that it's like out of all the spies, you're terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Like realistically, they'd be like, hey, that guy just said he's James Bond. Check this out. I just killed James Bond. This is fucking crazy. That's awesome. I gotta get some money for this shit. He's totally dead. Oh, woo! You know, and then Ethan like kills that guy because he was hiding in the shadows. But anyway, so, but I like that he's just kind of like, I'll do it. That's fine. You know.
Yeah.
But she saves him, which is also really cool.
Yeah, because she's watching the clock and she's just like, Ethan.
But even in that initial scene where she's training herself in the pool, because she's gonna do the jump, she doesn't do it, but she does it to save him, and I was like, oh man, this is so cool.
Yeah, right there when you saw her jump in to save him, you knew there was like possible.
Yep.
But then at the same time, I was like, he's married.
Right. Exactly.
We'll get to that.
Which I like that they never really do that either.
Yeah.
Like they it's a mutual respect.
Yes.
You feel a connection.
Mm-hmm.
You feel the chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that it's still at arm's length because he's married.
Yeah.
You know. But then so he's dead. They bring him back to life, and now Ethan's all fucked.
That was so funny.
You know,
that's so funny. He's like falling down.
He's looped out because you know he held his breath for 5 minutes, died, was brought back to life. Ilsa takes the information that they actually had to steal.
Yep.
So she takes it, and now Benji is getting in the car with Ethan, who just came back from the dead, who's like, no, I'll drive. And that's where Benji's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah. You actually get a scene where he's just like...
Yeah. Yeah, no.
And now they're doing that awesome driving...
It's totally like a buddy cop movie in that sequence.
And she's on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And then Ethan's chasing her in the car. And then later the motorcycle scene. And I love how Macquarie does these scenes where it starts off here.
Yeah.
Then goes here. Then goes here, and it almost just kind of just does this thing, and then closes right back up. Because if you really think about it, the whole sequence starts at the underwater safe and ends with her getting away.
Yeah, it's a really big, long sequence.
You know, it's just as big, it's huge
You're right,
as the Dubai
right.
scene.
It is a nonstop, like,
you know,
adrenaline
there's
ride.
just that little bit of, like, they bring him back to life, and then right after that, it's just like, boom, here we go, bottleneck, open up, and then right back into the bottleneck, and then he's just like, she's gone.
Yeah.
And then you get to see where her motivations are.
But before that, we get Brent going and getting Luther.
Yes.
To help him find Ethan.
That's right, I love that too. He's just like...
I love Luther's like, I don't know you, don't fuck with my friend's attitude.
Yeah.
Like, I will mess you up.
Yeah, I love that too.
You fuck with Ethan, I will mess you up.
And he's just like, okay, great.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not going to look for him, it was Solomon, I'm going to look for her because there's more detail in the drawing. Yeah. And he's like, how long is this going to take? Found her. Like, done.
There she is.
Yep.
But you're right, and I love that scene too, because he's like, I will fuck you up, and Brandon's just like, understood, let's go. Mm-hmm. And then I love that scene where he's just like, that drawing's better. And you're like, oh yeah, that's right.
It shows that, like, Luther really knows Ethan.
Oh yeah.
Like, he's really getting
And that's another thing too that I like that ties into Ghost Protocol.
Yeah.
Where in that initial car scene before Wilkinson gets killed, he just does this. He goes, I'm looking for that guy.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, you barely saw that guy.
Yeah.
You drew it on your hand.
Yeah.
You know? So, and again, like, I feel like in the first three movies, Ethan is just your stereotypical action spy.
Okay. Yep.
Okay? Just like every other action spy, he's incredibly smart, he's incredibly physically gifted, and he's incredibly capable. Okay? So he's interchangeable with Bond or Bourne. Mm-hmm. Okay? In Ghost Protocol and in Rogue Nation, and then ultimately in Fallout, now you get that this guy is completely different from any of them.
Yeah.
He is his own thing, so now I can honestly say, like, right now, he's my favorite spy. You know? Like, he's my favorite spy right now, especially because of Jason Bourne. Oh, man,
that really sour. It's like, I almost wish they didn't come back.
Now I do. Now I wish they didn't come back.
Because you had a perfect trilogy, and you put a sour note on the end of it now.
Plug Jeremy Renner into that movie, and that might have been a better movie.
Yeah, we talked about that. Like,
no, just have him be the Bourne character.
Okay.
Yeah, have his storyline be similar.
Bourne is done.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeremy Renner, I can believe, is like
Aaron
doing
Cross.
fucking fight clubs out in the middle of
wherever
Bourne was.
But anyway, so...
Yeah.
So she gets away, and then, we get the Luther scene, which is amazing.
Which is great. And then they catch up to Ethan and Benji during the whole chase.
Exactly. And that was really
And then Rand's like, just gotta get the 4x4. Just gotta get the 4x4. And they're like, doing like this fucking 6-point turn.
Like, oh, hey, Ethan. Oh, hey.
Yeah.
It's just... You know, and I mean, like, little bits of humor like that breaks it up, but it's, again, at no point in time are you going, like, they're winking at the camera going, you know, but there is that meta commentary. Like, now it's like, as action movies as a whole, where the lead guy is kind of fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You have to be kind of fucking crazy to literally be like, okay, so the whole world is on these shoulders, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna save the fucking world, right? And I don't care how many times he goes like, well, I guess I'm going to do it. It's still nuts. You know?
I know.
But getting into, now you get the MI6 handler.
Yeah.
Right? And you get that whole thing. And immediately you're just like, you're a fucking slime ball. Yeah. You look at him and you're like, you're a slime ball.
Oh, yeah.
You feel it right away.
Total slime.
You know? And even just, that immediately leads into kidnapping the president.
The Prime Minister?
The Prime Minister, yeah. Just get the codes, or to release the codes to figure out exactly to get the information that they originally tried to steal on the syndicate, to figure out exactly what the fuck they're trying to do. And even just the fact that, like, the Prime Minister goes, wait a minute, that training session that we did, like, that phony thing that we were trying to do.
You mentioned to me, and I turned you down right away.
Like, I literally was like, that's insane.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
That syndicate?
That syndicate is just kind of like, whoa. And the cool part about that is, like, you could see something like that happening in real life. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's, I think, another reason why the Bourne movies work so well, the original three. Yeah. Because you're just like, you could see this really happening in real life. You know? What else do we got here?
Yeah, so I love Alec Baldwin's like facial expressions during that whole scene.
Yeah.
Where he's just like listening and then just like, holy fuck, what's happening?
Yeah.
To like, it's just like this stun look, and then he starts to piece it the other way Ethan is, and then he's just like, oh.
I also love the part
maybe this guy is not full of shit.
Yeah, maybe Ethan is right.
Legit.
He's onto something.
Yeah.
But I also love when he goes like, he's the living embodiment of destiny. Was that the line?
Destiny.
Yeah, living embodiment of destiny. You're just like, this is mythical.
Yeah.
They've already like hit a mythical tone with Ethan.
Yeah.
So you get the sense like, you know, like when James Bond shows up and people are like, James Bond, holy shit. I feel like if someone found out that Ethan Hunt was on the trail, they'd kind of be like, I don't know, should we just call it in?
Yeah.
Could we just quit?
Yeah.
Because
let's go home and live.
I heard somebody say he was the living embodiment of destiny. I don't know what the fuck that means, but I don't want to test that. I'm good. I'm good. Hey, I'm over here. Just look. I'm over here. Catch me.
I'm done. Please don't hurt me. So let's go into Sean Harris as Solomon Lane.
Amazing. I loved his character.
He is so unbelievably creepy and just like this pure evil, like the sense of pure evil.
I get no good vibes from him.
No.
There's nothing like where you could kind of see maybe his motivations. You're just like, he's like one of those guys that just wants to watch the world burn.
I know. And the voice though. Just like it's really creepy. Like
this sort of whisper, like British
almost
accent.
like a Marlon Brando type of.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was just, it's hard to duplicate.
Yeah.
But
perfectly creepy.
So good. So good.
Because I talked about
crazy cunning too.
So cunning.
Like I love when he straps Benji up with the bomb, has the Google Glass on there, and he's talking through him, and he's just like, I'm gonna kill everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Give me what I want, you know? And then skipped over the okay, well we'll talk more about Lane, but there's a couple things that I missed that I thought were awesome. But
okay, we'll hop back into it.
Oh, okay.
Because we'll get into Solomon by the end again. So
yeah, exactly. So immediately when Ethan does get the information, what does he do? He looks at the screen, destroys it.
Yes.
Destroys it.
Remembered all those numbers.
And then literally, because once he finds out that it's bank accounts to fund the syndicate, that's the whole purpose of this, was the money, you know. And then they have the scene where they're sitting down. You got Ilsa there, Benji's there, and he's just like. And this is like right away. This is where I go. This is where Ethan realizes that he can't do it alone. Mm-hmm. This is it right
exactly.
Here. This is the exact moment where he goes, okay, the team that I have, like, I mean, technically he's never really doing it alone because he's always had Luther.
Yeah.
And at some point, like, once he gets Benji, Benji never leaves his side.
Yeah.
You know, but this is where he kind of goes, yeah, but I need to do this with these people. You know? And, but I love the scene where Solomon is just like, I want it. And he goes, okay, well then, I'm the guy. Mm-hmm. I have everything.
Yeah.
Or do you want to take the chance that I didn't remember, you know, every single bank account? And then he's just like, yeah, whatever. There you go. Mm-hmm. That's $50 million right there.
Yeah.
And he's just like...
Puts it in.
Shit! Well, fuck, I can't take this chance now. And then there's that awesome scene where he's just like, okay, kill her, but don't kill him. And they do that awesome scene where now he's stepping in front of her, she's shooting over him, they go back around.
Exactly.
And then they branch off again and have these two quietly awesome scenes where he's trailing Solomon.
Yeah.
And then eventually getting trailed by Solomon.
And she's against the Bone Doctor.
And that fight scene is awesome.
Knife fight.
A knife fight.
Yeah.
And then, like, I love it where it ends up where she's up top and then just...
I know.
Right down.
Oh, man. She was so awesome.
Oh. And then they get Lane and they capture Lane. They don't kill him, they capture him. And the
glass
same way
box
that he got caught
so
at the beginning.
Amazing.
And I was just like normally I would go, especially when you build up Lane like that, you go, man, they should have had a fight scene. But the way he beats him with his brains, with his team, and it's awesome. And then you're just like, oh, fuck. Wow. And then they have that awesome scene at the end between him and Ilsa, and they just share a hug. Mm-hmm. They just share a hug.
That was great.
There's none of this bullshit kiss or anything.
She said, well, come with me. Let's get out together.
Yeah.
And, I loved it. The glass box was great. Solomon's just freaking out, just like, and that look on his face.
Like he's just punching, kicking. He's just, and he is enraged.
And then once he finally passes out, Ethan just kicks the box over, just a boom.
Nope, just the
or
boom.
the push.
Does the push onto it and
just like
get him out of
get
there.
this shit pile out of here.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
and then you get that awesome upgrade for Alec Baldwin, where now he's the senator.
Secretary.
Secretary, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
perfect.
And that was great. And they're just
now
like,
he saw what the IMF is.
They're just like, okay, so earlier when you were saying that everything about these guys is horrible and they should never be allowed, yeah, it was deep cover because of the nature of the syndicate and all this stuff. Okay, so then you went, well, the nature, I can't confirm or deny. And you're like, yes, yes.
Yeah.
So great.
Loved it so much.
Oh, man. In fact, like, the chemistry is so great with everyone in this movie that when we get to Fallout, because I'm done with Rogue Nation. Rogue Nation's one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, I said Philip Seymour Hoffman was my favorite villain in the series. I take it back now. Because like
when
I watched Rogue Nation again,
watch Fallout,
and especially now after watching Fallout back to back, like Solomon Lane, like Sean Harris's performance as that character.
For a guy that didn't want to do a franchise sequel.
I mean, like if a coin has two sides, Ethan is one, Solomon's the other. Like they are perfect,
100%,
perfect,
100%. Because who else is going to lead the evil IMF?
Yeah,
I want to be Solomon Lane.
Yeah, and actually, like I wrote, like the Syndicate's amazing.
Yes,
the idea of the Syndicate is amazing. It's
crazy.
An anti-IMF.
Yeah.
It is like the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants to the X-Men.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's like what Spectre should have been in Spectre.
Exactly.
You know? Oh, man.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, I'm good. This going to follow.
Rogue Nation's fucking awesome.
Rogue Nation is so good.
So good.
A Mission Impossible Fallout, I'm really excited about. You know what I really enjoyed? We watched Fallout together.
Oh.
We haven't watched a movie together like just two of us in a long time, right? Like the two of us, right?
Yeah.
I enjoyed just like chilling out after and talking about it. Because we haven't done that in a long time. I was like, that brought me back to our Dark Knight days, driving around.
Exactly.
And talking
just driving
Dark Knight.
around. The only difference was I was chauffeuring you around.
You were, yes. Good
You know, but like, immediately with the trailers for Fallout, I knew that I was going to like this movie.
Yeah.
Okay? And of course, like, I read up and I knew that McQuarrie was back and you know, you got a 56-year-old Tom Cruise doing Tom Cruise things. And just once you watch the initial couple trailers, you're just like, shit. And even like with that, Addiction song by Imagine Dragons. That was a great way to bring you in.
That played during the
Down
trailer.
with the sickness.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a great way. Like,
or Down with the Victim, that's right.
Yeah, I enjoyed it during the trailers, but I'm glad it didn't appear during the movie.
Yeah, but like...
I was really expecting it during the credits.
So was I.
And it didn't happen.
Man, like... Okay, so recently I watched the Venom trailer.
The new one that came out today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and the Venom trailer is indicative of my problem with a lot of trailers where they show too much of this movie.
Yes.
Okay?
Way too much.
They spoiled a big boss battle that you knew was going to happen, but you didn't need to visually see it.
Yeah.
Okay? So, having said that, largely the trailer was good, but there was just too much of it.
I'm excited to watch it.
I like the idea of it now better.
It won't be as good as Fallout. I'm excited to watch it.
But Fallout's trailers were so good because they showed you quite a bit of the movie. But the way the movie moved, you actually forgot about stuff until they showed you it, and then you went, oh yeah, that's right, that was in the trailer.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. That's awesome. And this movie is 2.5 hours.
It's long. It's got to be the longest Mission Impossible.
It's the longest Mission Impossible. It's one of the longer action movies out there. Like Spectre was 2.5 hours. This movie did not feel like 2.5 hours at all.
At all.
This was literally like unrelenting for the most part. Just always like this, then a little bit of this, and then right back up, and then right back. But at the same time, I never felt exhausted.
I didn't feel exhausted. I felt almost out of breath at times by the amount of like the adrenaline in it. What was happening on screen, like that kind of exhausted.
There's a whole bunch of like, holy fuck, and then when you're like, just as you're done saying holy fuck, you're like, there's more?
Holy fuck.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, you get a taste of it right at the beginning with the, well, actually, it's kind of funny because, like, the initial opening is weird because you have that dream sequence where
You had the dream sequence.
Lane is marrying them, and he's just like, do you take her to have and to hold and to wreck her life and make her hide and, you know, change names.
Right away they're showing you, like, Julia is in this.
Yeah. And then you have the scene where, like, Ethan's sleeping in a bunker by himself, and you're just like, fuck. Wakes up, does the whole Mission Impossible, like your mission if you choose to accept it, where they now talk about how the splinter cell from Syndicate is the Apostles, and their whole thing is to get these 3 nuclear warheads because you can't have peace without great suffering.
Exactly.
Which is a great line. It's absolutely a great line, and they talk about this John Lark, who is the spearhead of it, and you're just like, Jesus, fuck, you gotta find this doctor, because you need the specs on how to stop it, so that way we can save the world. You know? That's the opening.
And it was crazy, too, because I almost thought a nuke went off at first.
That part was nuts.
I was like, holy shit, that's why this movie's called Fallout?
And I love that.
Because there's a fucking nuke.
Because immediately you're just like, he didn't do it.
Yeah.
He didn't do it. He didn't save the world. And then you start to go, oh, hold on.
Then I started to piece it. It went like...
Because I'll tell you right now, I did the same thing. I was just like, oh, geez, he didn't do it. You know? And then when they wake the doctor up, and they start to grill him, then I'm like, okay, all right, I got this. Now I understand that it was just a fake out to get the information. But I even love the reaction where he's just like, oh, you're reading it out of the air.
Yeah.
Like, not once going like, this can't be fucking happening. He's just like, okay, there you go. There's everything you need.
Yeah.
And then Benji's out in his Wolf Blitzer mask, and it's just like, yeah, told you he'd do it. Pay up. This is great. You know? And then again, like, I liked how they used the CIA with Angela Bassett, who I don't think is aged. We talk about Tom Cruise never aging. I think she's older than him.
She never ages.
And she, Jesus Christ, like...
Hairstyle changes, nothing else.
You know, like, we just saw her in Black Panther.
Yeah.
Which, okay, but that's not too far removed. But I don't remember the last time I saw her, but I don't remember going, woof, she's old. She does not look old in this. So you get introduced to her. In the CIA, you get introduced to the admittedly dumb name, August Walker for Henry Cavill. I like that they never refer to him as August ever again.
Yeah, it's just Walker.
It's just Walker.
Yeah.
Okay? And she says, you know, you're a scalpel, he's a hammer. You know? But I like how they use that and they never jokingly say it's just a bunch of old men dressing up in masks playing Halloween. But that's a recurring theme, and it's a derision theme. They're just like, ugh, they're wearing masks and hiding and shit, right? But again, it's like I said in Rogue Nation, it plays up to Ethan being the guy that doesn't want to be out in the forefront.
Yeah.
He wants to get in and get out as quickly as possible and maximize or minimize the amount of damage, deaths, and everything, and just innocent people being killed, you know? He'll kill bad guys if he has to, but he won't.
If he has to, yeah, but
if he doesn't, if he can get in and out without anybody seeing him, he'll do it. You know? And, but immediately, so I like how, again, that's a commentary on Mission Impossible.
Yep.
The spy movies as a whole. Tom Cruise, you know, as a nutcase. But I also like how immediately they show you the differences between Walker and Ethan Hunt.
Yeah, because they go, like, right into the plane together.
We're
doing the Halo jump now.
You know, and like, Walker's kind of a douche about it. He's a cocky douche. He's just kind of like,
yeah.
You know, and
the back end opens and Ethan looks
like,
down.
Ethan's just like, no, we can't do this because it's a storm.
There's a big storm down there. We got to rethink this.
Jumps out, and then it's just like, what, are you afraid of a little lightning? And then he gets struck by
I know.
Like, instantly.
Just a boom!
And I was just like, holy shit. And then I love how the sound just drops dead. Yep. No music, no sound, no nothing. And it slowly gets back up. And you're just like, whoa. And then Ethan takes his tank off, gives it to Walker, saves Walker. And like I said in the theater, I like that Walker didn't immediately know.
Yeah.
He was just like, oh, you lost your tank. You fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You know, and Ethan's just kind of like, all right, whatever.
Yeah,
they go into this ridiculously intense dance, bar.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy club.
Just nuts club.
I actually whispered over to you, like, hey, it's Collateral.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's Brunette Vincent.
It's Brunette Vincent, but they walk through the club. They get the whole purpose is to set up a meeting with the White
White Widow, yeah.
White Widow, which apparently is the daughter of Max.
Max.
From the
I
first
just
movie.
read that.
I read that and I was just like, they mentioned it in the movie and I never caught that.
Yeah.
But that's awesome.
That's amazing.
That's so cool.
Nice little throwback.
Based around fucking Fitbits.
Yeah.
Fitbits that'll say, hey, I'm Lane, and or I'm Lark, I'm John Lark, and you're not, and blah, blah, blah. So they track down Lark in the bathroom. So
Yeah.
you get that wicked, awesome fight
That
scene
bathroom fight.
that we saw in the trailers where, he's loading his fucking arms like shotguns.
I actually watched a clip of that on Instagram today where someone played it in slow-mo. Did you watch that?
No, but I'm not surprised that that's a new thing now.
No, but like, it was slow-mo, and when he does this, soon as he puts this fist down, he's got a darker shadow here, and a pocket appeared on his shirt.
Oh, wow.
Right here.
Oh, wow.
Just like, boom, boom, pocket beard.
Interesting.
I was like, I didn't even notice that.
I did not notice that.
That's hilarious.
Now, before we delve too much into that fight scene, one of the things I'll mention really quickly is, so they say Ethan's the scalpel, Walker's the hammer. This fight scene shows it perfectly.
Yes.
Those punches that Walker is nailing,
just boom,
just
boom,
bam,
boom,
bam, bam, bam. You're just like, I would be dead.
Yeah.
One punch.
Yeah.
This guy, and props to this actor, this character, because he gets the fucking shit kicked out of him and still kicks the shit out of these two guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But, okay, so the fight scene, one of the best fight scenes I've ever seen. This is absolutely fucking crazy. And also, one of the best fight scenes in this movie, but it's not the best fight scene. This is the beginning fight scene that you have to see that leads into 4 other scenes that you have to see in this movie, and nothing feels like you could take it out and it would not change the movie.
And you still got some humor in that scene, too, because at first they're in the stall.
Yeah.
And those guys are like, hey, what's going on?
Well, yeah, okay, so first the original scalpel part for Ethan was that he's got the needle, they're going to drug him, steal his face so Ethan can wear his mask.
Exactly.
So he can look like this guy Lark, okay? And get in, have a meeting with White Widow. Because some dude just shows up and fucks everything up, they have to fight. Cavill or Walker's character, they have this brutal 4-minute sequence where this guy is taking on both highly trained individuals who's they're both hitting him. He's hitting them. There's hard hitting, it feels real.
Yeah.
None of this feels fake, and there's none of this Ethan waits until Walker's done attacking. A lot of times they're attacking him simultaneously, and then he fucks them up, he chops Walker's throat, so now Walker's
Yeah.
and then he's kicking the fuck out of Ethan, or Ethan's trying to kick the fuck out of him. They have that awesome scene with the pipe, where he's got hooked around Ethan, and it's almost jammed in his neck.
Yeah.
And then finally, just as it seems like they're gonna turn the tide, Walker nails him with the laptop. The same laptop that is supposed to scan his face to make the mask. He just cranks him. And then he's just Ethan's what the fuck? Well, you said knock him out.
Yeah.
I did.
Just tap it on the screen.
And then they open the laptop and a big, huge crack, and you're just well, shit. And even the look that Ethan gives him is just yeah. And it's just okay, well, fuck. And then he wakes up, and again the fight just keeps going. It's 10 minutes of brutally realistic looking fight scenes. But again, so Walker gets knocked out, and you have this scene again where Ethan's just all right.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows he's not going to beat this guy. You can tell he's not going to beat this guy. He feels it, but he's all right, I'm going to do it anyway. And now they start fighting for the gun that was lost, right? And then what happens? Ilsa comes in and kills Lark, blows his fucking brains out, so there's no chance of getting the mask now.
Yeah.
Fuck, that was crazy. Yep. And you're just oh, yes, she's back. You're happy to see her, and she's literally you can't do this, Ethan. You can't do this, but I can't tell you why. And again, Ethan's just all right, I get it, but no trust displacement has happened.
I like how he was automatically you got out. Why are you here?
And then it's just
he wanted nothing but the best for her. And she's
exactly.
back in it now.
Yeah, and he's happy to see her, but he's just any other circumstance, I'd be even happier. And that's right. He's like,
Yeah.
you got out. What happened? She's like, well, I was with Lane for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
They want me to kill Lane to show that I'm part of it. And he's just like, fuck. All right. And then they go into the meeting with the White Widow, which I actually thought was a great introduction, where she's doing this spiel about her mom and how her mom was an activist, and then that whole, like, she sees Ethan, and this is the first time that Ethan's playing a different character, but he's not wearing a mask, which I thought was really cool.
He's just like, we're gonna hope that she's never seen it.
Exactly, and it's just like, hope's not a strategy, and it's just like, you're new, right?
Yeah.
I was like, yes, that's awesome. But it's great, too, because, again, it's just that whole, like, well, Ethan's just like, well, I'm just going to hope for the best, and it's either going to work or it's not.
Yeah.
But I'm going to figure something out. And I love that that's something that they kept saying. It's like, so what's the plan? I'm going to figure it out. And his team is just like, okay, all right. A couple of things did bug me, but we'll go scene by scene. So this scene is also really cool. And another great fight scene, where now Ethan and Ilsa, yes, are now
and the White Widow,
the fuck out of everybody, and the White Widow
with
too.
a knife.
Oh, just brutal.
Yeah.
Nothing about this was pretty in any sense of it. But I even just love how he says to her, he's just like, look, you got a choice. You can leave with me, because these guys are going to kill you. You can leave with your brother. And she immediately goes, well, I guess I'm leaving with you now.
Yeah.
You know, she doesn't say that, but that's exactly what it is. And I was just like, oh, okay, they have that whole big thing. And, you know, and then now Ethan and Walker are now teaming with her to eventually break out Lane.
Yep.
Because the White Widow is a power broker.
Yep.
Which I thought was really cool.
Doesn't want to be paid by money.
That's right. But favors. So as long as she can get in good. So get Lane, give it to this people. She's got a couple of get out of jail free card, which I thought was really cool. And it's also one of those things where you're just like, you don't see that enough in spy movies.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember if I ever saw something like that, and I can't recall. No. And I just remember thinking like, wow, that's actually really smart, where she's just like, favor for a favor type of thing. Money's great. I have money. You know? And then they set up that whole sequence where they're going to bust Lane out, which is awesome. Absolutely awesome.
So great. And the way it was shot, like, when I write their names here, cinematographer Rob Hardy and editor Eddie Hamilton, the way they shot this film,
they should win an award.
The way they shot this movie, like, when that truck falls to the bottom of the fucking river, and Sullivan's like sideways, and you see the water coming like this, it's just like, God. Holy crap, man! The way they shot that. And not just that, like the car scenes, everything. Everything
single inch of this movie
so amazing.
Was amazing. It was real.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay? Even when it was, like, ugly, it was still just like, holy shit. Like, I mean, even just the scene where they're laying out the initial plan to get Lane, and Ethan realizes that in order for this to work, he's got to kill a cop.
Yes.
And I hate that I didn't immediately go, well, that's no way that's real. Because I was like, oh my god, he has to kill him. Oh. And then he does, and you're just like, oh my god. And then it's just like, Ethan goes, no, we can't do that.
Yeah.
You know?
They cut to, like, because he was thinking about it. It's just like, no.
He plays it in his head, and I like that they did that, where plays the whole sequence in his head and goes...
That whole sequence in his head felt very Dark Knight to me.
It was very Dark Knight.
Like, holy shit.
Yeah. And apparently, that was actually going to happen. That was going to be a part of the movie. But ultimately, Macquarie was like, no, that's too dark, Tom. We can't do that. And I'm glad that they did the fake out where they show it, because I immediately was like, oh, man, Jesus.
All these cops are falling.
You know, and then he has to, like, point blank kill the guy. And he takes his mask off, too, so you know that it's Ethan. And you're just like, holy shit. And then he's just like, he doesn't say, we're not doing that plan. He lets him think we're doing it.
Exactly.
And then he completely does his own plan. And does this awesome thing where they knock Lane off into the water, and the other parts, like Luther and Benji, take Lane out of the actual armor truck, while Walker and Hunt are now getting chased around by cops all around this entire... I can't remember where this was now. Belfast?
Yeah.
Was it Germany?
Yeah, I don't actually remember what city it was in anymore.
It was a place in Europe.
It was very European.
A very European place.
Very European.
And it kind of reminded me of the Bourne Supremacy, where Bourne's at the subway, looks at his watch and goes, oh, okay, and then does this whole big loop around,
yes,
directing all the cops after him, just so that, like, the 5-10 minutes for that train to move, he's not stuck there. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
I loved that, but, like, on a huger scale. Like, he's in the armored truck with Walker, they get to the one spot, then they ditch that for the motorbikes, and Walker's works, which we find out why. Walker's works, Hunt's doesn't right away, but eventually it does, and then you have this breathtaking, like, 5-minute scene of him just driving around.
No, and the way it was shot, it was just like...
I mean, like...
It was, like, low to the ground, and it was flowing with them.
Back
and it was just
and
like...
in, and it was like I was saying, like, I feel like this was a green screen, or at least, like, this is an empty lot situation, so that the entire outside, like, it's actually there, and all the cars are CGI'd in, but at the same time, I'm like, Tom is just crazy enough that... But, I mean, there's a couple of shots where you're like, that has to be CGI.
Oh, I mean...
Some of these car scenes, but it's just...
And he's got to have a stunt double for some things. I mean...
But it's so hard to tell.
I know.
It's so hard to tell, especially because 9 times out of 10, that camera is here.
Yeah.
You know, like, so here. So you are... Ethan Hunt, I'm looking right at you while you're doing all these crazy
scenes. Just a lot closer,
scenes.
like he's in your face right now.
Yeah, exactly.
In 3D.
And that's another thing too. Like we watched it in 3D, and I remember both of us kind of being like, "This seems weird that it's 3D
for Mission Possible."
And then halfway through the movie, we're like, "That's why."
Yeah.
That's exactly why.
That in the helicopter.
So then again, so like I said, so we start off with a sequence where it's very small. There's the trucks. There's Ethan, knocks Lane into the water,
yep.
And then it snowballs into this beautifully crazy, huge scene where he's deking out all these cops, and then finally meets up with Luther and Benji in the boat with Lane. Like, it's just
crazy.
It is
so crazy. And then that poor female cop gets shot.
Yeah.
And Ethan's just
and you think it's going to be Walker, too.
And
you absolutely think it's going to be Walker. And then she gets shot, and because you feel like he's actually going to talk her out of it. Like, she's going to suddenly go, like, okay, all right. Then she gets shot, and then he fucking lays out all 4 of them.
Yeah.
All 4.
Yeah, he rarely kills, but in that situation...
Just like that, just bam, 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 bam. And I was just like, yes!
Yeah.
And then literally stops everything. Hey, you'll be okay. You'll be fine. You know what I mean? And he says, I'm sorry. And I'm just like, oh my God, you feel for him. Mm-hmm. And this is where I was saying where they kind of hint at it in Rogue Nations as to the motivations behind Ethan Hunt. Now we're starting to see the Ethan Hunt. Mm-hmm. Now we're starting, and this helps me get behind the character even more.
Yeah.
Because now he's human. This is a guy that just wants to save the world. He doesn't want anyone to get hurt. Doesn't matter who you are. Nobody gets hurt. Not in his watch. Mm-hmm. And that's another reason why he will never, ever work with Walker on the level that they're trying to do it. Because he can't. No. Walker is the guy that says, I would let Luther die to save those nukes. Whereas, and that's, we didn't say that at the beginning, the whole purpose of this movie was that the nukes were stolen by the Syndicate because Ethan refused to let Luther die.
And I was really like, oh, please don't let Luther die in that scene.
I know, me too.
Because I was like, it's the opening scene. He's the longest running character besides Ethan. To show how badass these guys are, killing Luther would really prove that they are mean motherfuckers.
Yeah, and Ethan refused, and I love that Alec Baldwin, I wish I remembered his, Hunley. Hunley is just like, you let one guy live. You sacrifice the entire mission, thousands of lives for one guy, and there are people that would say that is your weakness, but that is your biggest strength. Yeah. That's how I know I can trust you. I was like, fucking right! That is awesome! Because in Ethan's mind, he saves Luther. He knows he'll get the nukes back. Yeah. It's not a matter of if, it's when. Yeah. So, and I wish I touched upon that sooner, but like I said, we're getting more and more of his character, and... Man, and then when that scene just kind of stops, and they get away and they go to the interrogation scene with Lane, that's where you get the little ebb, right? So now we get some quiet time, now we got some exposition, now we get the part where Lane is just like, we're not terrorists. No, not even close. And I was like, man, that's so great that he's like almost like disgusted that people think he's a terrorist.
Yeah.
You know? He's like, I'm looking for change. I'm going to change the world. The only way to do that is with a great suffering. That's how you get
Exactly.
peace. You have to have this in order to have peace. And you're just like, you're fucking scary how crazy this sounds.
That's very Thanos of you.
But the problem, the biggest problem is that you can kind of see where he's coming from. Wars happen. What happens after war? Peace. He's just thinking on a much larger scale, right? Like Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep.
But he's so much more chilling in this movie.
He is.
And with the beard and everything, like I was just like, holy shit! Like even when, like I thought for sure that he would shave towards the end of the movie. He doesn't. Nope.
Why would he?
Then he thought he was gonna die.
He's got a day left. He doesn't care.
He figured he was gonna die, and that was it. But oh man, the fake out with the. Okay, so this is where we pretty much talked about the entire movie.
Yep.
But like when we find out that Henry Cavill, August Walker, is in fact Jonathan Lark.
Yeah.
I kind of eye rolled a bit there because I was just like, you had pegged it right away.
I call it.
You called it. You actually said to me he's Lark, and I was like, yeah, I don't know. Like it just kind of doesn't make sense. But then when they have Lark or Walker actually start spouting, he's like, yeah. When I wrote that, I was literally saying like, I mean those words. I'm not looking for revenge against Ethan Hunt. I don't give a shit about that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I want then I was like, okay. Like, I feel if Cavill, and I said this in the theater, I feel like Cavill's a very quietly awesome actor. Okay? So when he's doing those scenes where he's just like, yeah, when I wrote that, I believed it. I still mean that. I want this to happen. I don't give a shit about Ethan Hunt, you know? Eventually he does, because just like Lane, Hunt is so relentless.
He starts to see what Lane sees.
And he starts to now... Like, he's starting to go, fuck it, I just want to kill that guy.
Yeah.
That guy's got to die. You know, and it's not even like, you don't get the sense he feels like he's got to kill Ethan to have his mission done. Now it's like, no, I got to kill him. I got to kill him. Yeah. You know?
So yeah, I called both the twists in that
Yeah,
scene.
you also called the Benji mask twist.
Yeah.
Which, and normally I am on point for this kind of shit. I just felt like with Lark Walker, it was too easy. So I did kind of eye roll, and I was kind of like, oh, and I almost felt like, well, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you be? I was kind of thinking that the twist would have been that with Angela Bassett's character.
Okay. Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
But it was.
Which I thought was really, like, when you said that, it was Angela Bassett, I was like, that may be.
Because you start going through the Rolodex of the characters, and you're like, well, she's kind of sort of been in the entire movie without actually being there, so it could work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but his, like I said, it does work, but the Benji fake out, I totally didn't see at all. And you did. And I was just like, well, shit. But I thought that was great too, where he's just, again, he goes, it's all like grown men in masks with hollow shit. Yeah. So he's on camera now saying, I'm Lark, and this was my plan, and this was, the whole thing is me, and I'm working with Lane, and fuck. Yeah. You know, and then you start to see, like, he's getting a little bit, he gets a little frazzled there, but then right back into, like...
Just, like, this creepily calm, just, like...
Mm-hmm. No.
I'm good. Everyone's still gonna die the way I want them to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, after that whole big shootout, too, when they kill off Hunley.
Yeah, right after he's like...
I can see why you like this. Yeah. I can see why you guys love doing this. This is a lot of fun, and you're just like... Yes!
The big guys.
Yes! And then you're like, no!
Let's get stabbed.
Don't do it!
But that opens the door for Renner to return in the next one.
I know, and I hope that's the case. I really hope that's the case, because that was one of the first things we said right at the end of the movie.
It's like, I hate to see Alec Baldwin go, but if it means that Renner's going to come back as a new secretary.
Yeah, and...
I'm okay with that.
But so then immediately, what do you have? You have Walker strolling to the the helipad.
Yeah, just walking along.
He's got a huge lead. He's strolling because his plan, just like Ethan, he is so confident that this is going to work. Not a care in the fucking world. Mm-hmm. He might as well have been skipping. Yeah. Just picking up a flower. The whole world is going to die. This is amazing. You know? I can't get over this. And that leads into
that crazy Tom Cruise running.
The most epic running scene I've ever seen.
Yes, we know Cruise loves to run.
just in general, not just Cruz, but in general.
Yes.
I was getting, like, my legs were getting sore watching this guy. You know, like, he's doing this at 56, and I know there's takes.
And he broke his leg during that scene, too.
But there's long shots of him doing these runs, so I don't care how many takes they did. Even if they just did 5 takes. They didn't. They did more than 5. But if they just did 5 takes, that's still a ridiculous amount of running. That when I look here and I go, man, I'm like 21 years younger than that guy, and I can't even do 3 minutes before I'm like, fuck it, running is dumb.
Yeah.
And right now, I don't even like walking. You know? I was just like, I can't get over it. Like, you can talk about how insane he is, but it lends so much credibility to this movie that it's him doing 90% of this. Maybe even 85, but that's still a ridiculous number.
And then you get the great Benji commentary on the radio. Like, he's getting away, Ethan. He's like, I'm about to jump out a window. Like, what's taking you so longer? Like,
yeah.
Jumping out a window.
But, okay, so here's some of the stuff with the Benji shit where I started to kind of roll my eyes a little bit was, frequently throughout the movie, you had Benji questioning Ethan Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been there almost as long as Luther. He's actually the second longest.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Every single time, Ethan has saved the world, and ultimately Benji's life. But so you have Benji going like, yeah, you're going to save my life. Oh, yeah, okay, how are you going to do that? I don't know, I'll figure it out. Yeah, you'll figure it out. And I felt like saying, like, wouldn't you be the one guy that's like, yeah, you will figure it out? You know? And I know that they were playing it for laughs.
Yeah.
You know? The other part where, you know, like when he's tracking him on the iPad, and it's just like, oh, I had it upside down. I was like, it's a funny joke, but if you really think about it, he'd be running in the actual opposite direction.
Yeah. If
it was upside down. It wouldn't just be like, you know, and then all of a sudden you forget for that 4-second sequence. So it was like, I get it was played for laughs, but it kind of took me out, because immediately I went, well, no, they'd be half across town on the opposite side.
Yeah.
Okay? But it did, like I said, even still, you had him running over rooftops, cutting across the whole thing, the huge jump.
That was nuts.
Where he, like, you see him hit, and, I mean, they shot it from the side.
Yeah, well, that's where he broke his leg, where his leg snapped.
Yeah,
was
exactly.
That shot.
And you're just like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
And, again, like...
And then he got up, and you see in the movie, he's, like, limping when he takes off, because he was doing that with a broken leg.
Exactly, and you're just like, Jesus,
because he
Tom,
broke his leg, and he still got up.
Fucking, like, and of all the shots to keep, you keep the one with his broken leg in it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and then when he finally does catch up to Lark, or Walker, I think from here on out, we'll just refer to him as Lark.
Lark.
Because it is cooler than Walker.
It is.
Yeah. I do like how the White Widow is just like, Jonathan Lark. I mean, that's a great name. Lark. And you're like, that is kind of cool.
Lark.
And you have that scene where Ethan's hanging from the elevator bottom.
Right.
Much like Skyfall.
And then he looks up.
And looks up, and he's just like...
Looking down at him.
Looking down, and he's just like, pulls the gun out, and then he goes, I'm her guardian angel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the reason she's still alive. And you're like, holy fuck. And again, like I said, you knew she's in the movie. You saw her at the beginning.
Yep.
You forget that Julia's in the movie until that scene again. And then you're just like, oh, shit.
Well, because it was just flashbacks at first.
Exactly.
Or like dream sequences.
Yep.
This officially puts her in there.
That's right. And then you're just like, oh, yeah, that's right. And like I said, like, they did such a great job with the trailers that you forget that even at that point, there's still an entire helicopter sequence that we haven't seen yet. And I am glad that that was the climax of the movie.
Yeah. Because,
holy fuck. And even that is even the whole scene.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's the lead up. It's now we're getting that Blaine goes to the one village where they started the smallpox thing. Now, why does he go there? He did the smallpox thing so that Julia, who's a nurse on a global scale now, is going to be there so that Ethan Hunt can be there to watch her die first and foremost. He's fucking evil.
Yeah. Yeah, he's an evil motherfucker.
The second that they said this is the spot where the smallpox was and there was the Red Cross or whatever the hell they were, I went, oh god, that's Julia. That's how they get it. But the big gut punch, she's fucking married.
Yeah.
Never saw that coming.
She's a really old looking Wes Bentley.
Yeah. I remember saying that to you in the theater where I was just like, I think he's maybe about 10 years younger than Tom Cruise, and he looks 10 years older than Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Wes, I don't know if you can watch this at all, but I don't know, maybe change whatever you're doing. If you smoke, stop.
You're not looking good, man.
If you're drinking a lot, stop. This is coming from, admittedly, this guy. Straight up. You look old.
But I was happy about that. Like, I actually enjoyed Julie in here.
She was great.
Which is weird because I hated the marriage.
Yes, you did hate the marriage. Here's one of the reasons why I liked it so much. No woman in this movie was a damsel in distress.
No.
The cop that gets shot, she got shot because she was literally holding up 4 guys at gunpoint who were putting a masked dude in the back of a car, and she had no idea what the fuck was going on, but she was not going to stop.
Yeah.
You know, and I said, like, I felt like Ethan Hunt probably would have talked her out of it. He probably could have, but she got shot, and then Ethan saved her, but I didn't think she was any less capable.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't paint her like a rookie, is what I'm getting at. And then, of course, Ilsa Faust. Faust. That's how it's pronounced, by the way.
Faust.
And then Julia, she goes like, look, like, I'm helping on a global scale. This is my husband. And there's that awkward tension, or it's just like, he's on vacation. And then Tom's just like, nope, I'm actually working.
Oh, you're working.
Yep. And then, so Ethan fucks off, and Ilsa, I can't get over why it's so hard for me to say that. Ilsa and Simon, or Benji,
Simon,
Jesus Christ, are now looking for the bombs. So
Yeah.
they're looking for the bombs. And then when Luther finds one, so they're now, like, he finds one, and he's about to detonate. She shows up and goes, okay, what can I do to help?
Yeah,
Like,
Julie wants to help, and it's great too because now we get this like chemistry between her and Luther because we knew it was there, but we never saw it before because Luther only mentioned it.
yeah, well, there's that scene where he says, he sits
Right.
down and he goes,
Amazing
he
scene.
goes, there's only 2 women in the world that has ever affected Ethan.
Yeah.
And one of them was his wife, and she's like, he was married? He's like,
Oh, he's married. He was
Yeah.
married.
yeah.
And that's
then
where.
you're like,
So
oh.
yeah.
And then Luther's just like, all of this happened because he saved my life. And he's tearing up, and you're like, come on, Bing, come on.
I really enjoyed that scene.
That was a beautiful scene. And then even when he's like, every once in a while she would pop up to let Ethan know, like send up a signal to let him know he's alive. She's a ghost, and I trained her well. I'm like, man, this is so awesome. And I love that he's telling her this.
Yeah.
And he's saying, like, okay. And even just the fact that the reason why they split up was because he settled down. And now you get a sense of why there was such a time gap in between the movies was because he lived a life with her, but eventually they both were kind of going, because every time something bad happened, Ethan was like, well, if I was there, would it have been different? And so they split up because of that. And I was like,
And it was mutual. Like she
is
totally
so
understood.
beautiful.
And she said that she could like live every day happy because she knew he was out there. Just like
That, I mean, like, this movie subverted so much.
I know. It's a beautiful wrap up to everything. They literally touch on every one of the Mission Impossible movies.
I know.
Every one. White Widow's daughter Max.
Yeah.
Later on, we'll get the little bit of Mount the Cloud.
Yeah, you're getting a little.
It was a very good scene, man.
It's hot in here.
It's hot in here. No, I'm a marshmallow. And
I
seriously,
am
just,
too. I am
just
too.
thinking
but,
about
like,
that scene again with Bing talking and stuff, it got me in the theater too.
I got me too,
It got
because
me
he
in
gets
theater.
emotional, because he's like, we're in this mess because of me.
Yeah.
Ethan saved my life, and now the whole world might be dead.
And he's asking her, please don't come.
Yeah.
Because
he'll be distracted.
Yeah.
And she goes, fuck that, I'm going anyway.
Yeah.
Right? Because, well, and she no-sells it too, because, Ethan shows up and is like, okay, what's going on? And she's like, let's go.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, fine. So then, so we fast forward now to Luther
the
and
bomb
Julia.
defusal, yeah.
So now they have that thing where it's just like, well, same old Ethan type of thing, right? Because she still, she still loves Ethan. She still
She always
cares
will.
about him immensely. And even though she's married, and you touched upon it, we'll get to that in a second, but because I want to bookend it, but when it leads into that helicopter scene, like, holy shit! That is so fucking crazy awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He's holding the pay dirt, climbing up, falls.
My stomach dropped with that.
My stomach dropped.
Like, I was like, whoa.
I was just like, oh my God. And then, and again, the guy's just like, nothing happened, okay. Then he climbs all the way back up again, and, like, in a real life context, that's incredibly hard to do. Because I would estimate that the length of the rope is about 30 feet, okay? Yeah. I would say that they're probably about a couple hundred feet in the air.
Yeah.
So gravity is already nailing it.
Yeah, oxygen.
He's fallen off once. He's climbed back up again. Finally gets back in. And immediately, like, when they did that, I was like, okay, so this is kind of similar to the opening of Spectre with James Bond, where they had the big, huge, dragged-out fight scene. Nope. Literally tosses the guy out the one door and kills the other guy. Like, kills the one guy, tosses them both out. Yeah. I was like, that actually makes a lot of sense, because I remember watching Spectre and going, like, it's weird that Bond had so much trouble fighting this old dude in a helicopter, like, when there's open windows, like open doors, right? And I thought it was really neat that he was just like,
yeah,
all right.
And then the best part is he doesn't know how to fly a helicopter.
And like they ask, like, does he know how to fly an airplane or a helicopter? I don't think so.
Yeah, he's just like, all right, so this is
and again, like the level of confidence, or even just the fact that he just has to get this mission. He has to save the world, not save the world, but just complete the mission.
Yeah,
he's just like, all right, okay, so he's figuring it out on the fly, and then when he starts to get the hang of it, like, you're just like, it's a level of, now he's no longer this perfect, unstoppable force. Or, sorry, he's unstoppable, yes, but he's no longer perfect. Now you get that sense that he could fail.
Yes.
Even though you know he won't, you get the sense that he could.
And I was feeling that a lot during that end. Like,
the entire movie actually felt like he could fail at any time.
This could be the final mission.
Mm-hmm.
Especially by bringing in Julia, by having, like, Ving Luther talking to Ilsa about how he feels about her.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this could be the end.
It could, and there was that sinking sense of dread in there where you're like, it could be the last Ethan Hunt Mission Impossible movie. And like, oh man, he's chasing after Cavill, and like I said, like this is where Lark gets really frustrated, because he tears through all the bullets in his jacked up gun that you're just like, holy fuck, like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Giant turret.
Oh!
Just like, and then that's when he's just like, come on! Like, why has this gotta be so difficult, right? And the whole time Lane is on the ground just kind of going like, yep.
Yeah,
woo!
Yeah, and they perfectly going back and forth between, like, Ilsa and Benji look for the other bomb, Luther and Julia over here.
Yeah.
Julia's talking to Luther, and Ilsa's like, wow, I like her.
Yeah, like, the spacing is so good.
Yeah.
Like, but at no point in time does your, like, adrenaline drop, because, sure, these are slower scenes, but you're still just like, oh, yeah, the bomb, and, oh, yeah, find the bomb, and then she's going after Lane, Faust is going after Lane, because her endgame is to kill him, right? And that fight scene was crazy.
That fight.
But hold on, real quick. So
we'll go back
now, like I said, we get to Walker, and he's just like, he wants to kill Hunt.
Yeah.
It's the mission, but he's got to kill Hunt. He absolutely has to kill Hunt. But yeah, that fight scene with Lane, holy shit! Like, you got the sense in the first, like, in Rogue Nations, that he was a badass. You never really seen it outside of a couple of, like, stabs and gunshots and stuff like that. Here, he's full-on kicking the fuck out of her.
Toe-to-toe with her, and she's focused on saving Benji, who's fucking hung by a rope.
That's awesome. Kicks the stool in so he can stand on it, but then it gets knocked over, and I love the part where now she's got the choice. Kill Lane, sacrifice Benji. Kill Lane, sacrifice Benji. And you knew it was going to happen, but it was so awesome when she saves Benji and doesn't kill Lane, and now you're
knocks him out.
This is 100% the female Ethan Hunt. Now you get the sense
100%.
that she gets it.
Yes.
So now she's willing to save the one, sacrifice the millions to save the one, and you're like, oh. So now, okay, and again, that adds to that sense that they're going to kill Ethan Hunt off, because you've got your next Ethan Hunt right here. who could just as easily slot right in.
And I was kind of like, oh, Ilsa could be taking this over. Oh, this is MI6, the movie.
Oh, look at you!
Right?
Wow, I love that you saved that one. You did not let that nugget loose.
I was like,
shit, that must have been hard.
This is MI6.
Wow.
Holy shit! What if Ilsa takes over? But she doesn't.
That's right.
Helicopter
crash scene.
Helicopter kung fu. Like,
Helicopter kung fu
nuts.
Then leads into the crash scene.
Yes.
That leads into the top of the mountains.
And Tom or Ethan's trying to get out of the freaking helicopter,
and Lark is just like getting all that oil on his face, and
he's burning.
You're like, and they do that awesome scene where you see this side of his face, and then you
turns. It's all like his eyes glue together.
And then they have the fight scene that I complained about in Mission Impossible 2, where now these guys are both fucked up. They were in a completely stressful situation. They had a helicopter crash.
Yep.
They're not like, all right, martial arts, let's do flips.
Yep.
They're just like, the first thing August does is like puts him in a fucking headlock because he's just like, I just want to fucking kill this guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And Ethan's not even really trying to fight him. He's trying to get the detonator. Oh yeah, I forgot. There has to be...
Yeah.
The two bombs can only be diffused once the timer has been rung, but the
detonator has to be switched off at the same time.
Disabled before that.
It's just like, holy fuck.
Right, and that's nuts too, and you're just like, holy shit, like, I can't get over how they're going to get out of this, and then they fight, but then the helicopter starts falling off, it's in between the two, remember? Yeah, the two, and they're like in between it, and they fall off together, and it's hanging by the hook, and they're trying to scramble to not fall, while at the same time Ethan's trying to get the detonator that's hanging up top. And then what does Ethan do that's absolutely crazy? Pulls it down. I was like, I can't fucking believe he just did that.
Yeah. And the jumps, and then we're getting the climb. We're going back to Mission Impossible 2.
And like, if you would have told me that there was a throwback where I would have said, it's awesome that he climbed the rocks, I would have said, no.
Yeah.
Nope, because it was a vanity project from fucking Tom Cruise, who was like at his most egomaniacal.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I looked at you, I remember just being like, I can't fucking believe that this is so fucking cool.
They did it. So a throwback to every single movie.
And he climbs up, and they're like, okay, they have no contact with Ethan.
No, nothing. And he's not near the top yet.
He's not near the top. He's not even anywhere near the detonator. And they're just like, okay, well, we have to just cut the cords. Well, when do we cut the cords? And I like when they go, well, why don't we do it on when it gets down to 2? And the countdown gets to 2, and Benji's like, why don't we just do 1?
Yeah.
What's the extra second gonna do?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And they have no idea Ethan is gonna do it, but they're still just like, well, we're gonna do it.
And then they both go snip, and then it directly cuts back to Ethan, who's still hanging on the side of the mountain.
Hanging.
But you don't notice the detonator at first.
That's right.
Because you see him hanging, and then they do this side shot where he looks over to where the village is.
Yep.
And I'm expecting to see an explosion.
I'm afraid to see an explosion. Over. I thought it was done.
And then they go back again, and he's got the detonator.
And he's holding the fucking thing in his mouth, and you're like, I don't care how corny that is. That is cool as fucking shit. Like, that is just balls cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And
that's the only time in the whole movie where I was like,
right. I was just like, oh, so much relief.
Wow.
So much relief.
Wow. And then you get that awesome scene with Julia.
Right. Because Angela Bassett picks him up, brings him back.
Yeah.
And then you get the Julia thing, but first you get the great, how close were we? And he goes, the usual. I was just like, that's nice.
And he's just kind of like, okay,
the
all
usual.
right. And then Julia comes in, and he's just like, he's in tears. He's like, I'm sorry. And she's like, for what?
Such a beautiful, like.
For what? And I love that she's not the bitter, jaded ex-wife. She's like, you brought me to do the things that I was meant to do.
Yeah.
I've never felt more happy. I never felt more alive, you know? And that part where she's just like, I sleep soundly at night knowing that you're alive to save the world, and now I'm getting going because it's just like, that is amazing. That is so beautiful.
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
And then again, you get that little bit with her and Faust where it's just like, you get the lost in translation.
Right, the whisper? I know. What did she say?
And then you still don't get a kiss between the two.
No.
You know, but like...
But you feel like it's there. It's gonna...
Well, now, because the whole point was that Ethan was always willing to sacrifice the millions for the one. Well, now we realize that he sacrificed his perfect life for the millions, right? So he actually did sacrifice one for the millions. Now he doesn't have to. Now him and Faust can be like Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I know I made a terrible reference to a horrible fucking movie, but you get the idea that they can team up and be IMF together.
We got the Apostles are still out there.
The Apostles are still out there.
Like, that is a thread left hanging, so MI7 is going to happen. I honestly thought this would probably possibly be the end. Because Ilsa could easily carry the series. Like,
easily.
If Ethan decides to retire in any way or form.
Especially because the chemistry with her and Benji, with her and Luther.
Yes.
And then, like, Brandt could easily come back and the chemistry was all there and she could be just as good as Ethan. But different because she's a different character. Mm-hmm. But fuck, man, like I said this right away when it was done. Oh, by the way, no end credits. No stinger. No nothing. The movie ends, credits hit, that's it, and it was refreshing.
Felt like there was going to be a stinger.
It totally did, but I think it's because we were trained to think there was a stinger.
Solomon is still alive. Gets thrown in the trunk. He's back with the British intelligence.
He's back with MI6.
So he's out there still.
Yeah, he could be brought back. I feel like if they do a movie with the Apostles, though, he gets killed. He gets killed, and I bet you it won't.
MI6 blows up or something.
Yeah, it won't be like Sean Harris playing him. They'll say it's Solomon Lane, but you won't actually physically see that it's him. Or they might do like the thing they did with Hugo Weaving's Red Skull tacked on to what's his face.
Oh yeah.
Infinity War.
Yeah.
There's ways around it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like, I never would have guessed that I would have sat there and said that this is one of the best spy movies, one of the best action movies, and while it does tie up the entire franchise in a neat little bow, because the franchise could end right here.
It could. And
you'd be like, okay, all right, I don't think it will. I think we'll at least get another movie. We'll get a 7th.
I tell you, like, it could tie it up. But at 97% Rotten Tomatoes and the biggest opening for Mission Impossible, it beat number 2.
Yeah.
Finally, an MI film.
I know. And not only that, like, I mean, the budget wasn't even that high.
Yeah.
So.
It's making money. Because it's that damn good.
Oh, it's so fucking good.
It's so damn good.
It's so good. Like, I mean, and this was actually one of the first things I said was, I loved Rogue Nations. I absolutely loved Rogue Nations. This annihilated Rogue Nations. Okay, like.
Yeah, let's do our rundown. Now we're done Fallout, so I'm assuming that we're going to have pretty similar number scores, minus the second being thrown around in there.
Okay. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Exactly. So, it's actually Fallout, Rogue Nation. This is where I was kind of like,
Now you're in the other 4, and you're like, yeah.
Yeah, but I have to put Ghost Protocol in 3rd, which I never thought I would do. But then immediately after that is the original Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible 3.
And 2.
And 2 is right at the bottom, because 2 is a fucking garbage movie.
Right, because you don't like 2. I do like 2.
I know you do.
So
and that's fine.
I'm going Fallout.
Yep.
Rogue Nation.
Yeah.
Those 2 movies are I mean, I thought Rogue Nation was a perfect action movie.
Yeah.
And then I watched Fallout, and I was like, this is even more perfect.
And I'm watching it.
I can't really pick anything apart from Rogue Nation.
No.
But at the same time, This is so much better.
Exactly. Like, there's nothing that I don't like about Rogue Nations, but I like everything about Fallout infinitely more.
I know. Yeah.
And I've watched a shitty cam version. It's not that shitty, but it's a cam version.
It's a cam version.
I've watched it 2 times already, and I'm just like, fuck, man, this is so crazy good.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then I'm going to go number 2.
Okay.
Obviously.
That's your 3rd pick?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That's fine.
I just Benji the camera.
You Benji the camera. That's
fine.
Fuck
is crazy.
If anyone watched part 1, they'll know why it was my 3rd pick.
Then
Ghost Protocol. Then Ghost Protocol.
Yeah, okay.
The 1 and 3.
Yeah.
3 at the bottom.
Yeah.
I hated Marriage at First, but the way they've tied it up now, I still hate that movie, but I feel better about the marriage now.
Yeah,
it feels like it was a throwaway storyline for that one movie.
But it doesn't make 3 any better in retrospect.
Yeah.
It just makes you understand the marriage more so. All it is, it's like, because you said yourself that you didn't like how it happened, and then they almost never mention it without a little bit of a, oh, she's still alive type of thing, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas now they actually full on go, well, they divorced, here's why, and I love that she's just like, I'm not mad at you. I'm actually happy. I'm happy I met you. My life is so much better because of you. And it's going to continue to be better because of you. And you're just like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You know? Yeah. Like, when the next, if Shatterhand happens, I feel like James Bond 25 or Shatterhand, if that's
I
what
really
they're
hate
going
that
with.
title. I
So
really
do
want
I.
to Shatterhand.
So why not call it Shatterstar? Fuck it.
I mean, you're not far off from Talk Knocker with that.
Yeah.
Shatterhand?
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Is it a
Shat
guy
in her hand?
Shat in your... guy with the glass hand, yeah.
Yeah, but so I feel like, because, originally, Bourne influenced the Bond movies, right? And then Bond eventually influenced Jason Bourne. The Mission Impossible movies...
They've never been influenced.
They've done their own thing all the way through.
They do their own thing. They're like, this movie's going to be this movie's going to be this.
I feel like Bond 25 is going to be heavily influenced by
this
Fallout. And I feel like if they're smart, it should also be influenced by Spectre and Jason Bourne in the sense that you don't do this. This is what you don't do. Mm-hmm. I know what they were trying to do with Spectre, and they were trying to bring it back to the campy sort of Roger Moore version.
They were trying, yeah. But it was very Bondy, like the old Bond. They never
should have done that.
It was the torture scene that really made me go, oh, exactly. I'm really feeling the old Bond right now.
Exactly, and I remember that part right away. I was just like, but that's all we're gonna say.
That's all we're gonna
say about that. But I feel like Shatterhand, if they don't change the title, is going to be heavily influenced by this because it has to be.
You know what?
This is so fucking good.
Spectre had a really fucking high, hard mountain to climb after Skyfall.
It really did. But
the eventual MI7 that will happen, it's going to have a hard time climbing Fallout.
Yeah, but okay.
You need Christopher McQuarrie to come back.
Hold on. Fallout had a really high mountain to climb from Rogue Nations.
It really did.
Okay. And look what happened.
Right. It's perfect. I don't know how more perfect you can get, though.
It's perfecter, because...
Perfecter.
Because Rogue Nations is perfect.
Can you get perfecter?
More perfecter?
Oh. The perfectest.
Still dramatically bullshit, but...
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So, at the end of the day...
Yeah, so that's the rundown. I gotta say that, when we were doing our comic book predictions for 2018, 2019, I had my list there. It was all comic book movies, and you're like, let's throw Mission Impossible in there, right? And I was like, okay, it's not a comic book movie, but I made the joke okay, Tom Cruise is a superhero. He's honestly a fucking superhero after this.
Yeah.
So is Ethan Hunt. This shit's unreal.
Yeah.
And you know what? The way, at his age, the way he's throwing his body on the line for entertainment value.
Yeah, exactly. They talked about Daniel Craig. I mean, at his age, doing the stunts that he was doing doesn't hold a candle. Yeah. Does not hold a candle.
Not a candle.
And realistically, and no offense to Daniel Craig, but Daniel Craig is younger and in better shape. Visually, if you look at him, you go, holy shit, right? And he's complaining about the stunts and stuff like that. Okay, that's fine.
I never get that sense from Cruise that he would complain about anything. I feel like he's game for it all.
Yeah, and I mean,
you know what? He's he'll sit down and go,
say what you will about the Scientology
what is the crowd gonna love? And that's they've been teasing the Tom Cruise and Dwayne Johnson have been teasing online that they want to work together and everything. But Dwayne Johnson, he recently said, because he was Forbes' highest grossing actor in history for 1 year, right? He said, I work with the idea that I don't have a boss. The audience is my boss. Yeah. They're my boss. I want to make them happy.
Exactly.
I feel like Cruise has the same mind frame.
Yes. And going back to what I said a while ago, too, I also feel like he watches a lot of movies. He's not just watching... He's not just watching what's happening in and around him today, but he's also watching older movies. I guarantee you, if we ran into him and he was, not busy or anything, and I was like, hey man, you ever watch anything from Korea, like South Korean cinema? He'd be like, yeah, I do. I watch everything. And you'd be like, you have no choice but to be like, he watches everything.
Yeah.
Like, I could say I watch everything, and then people will be like, well, do you watch this, this, this? And I'm like, okay, well, all right, I don't watch everything.
He knows what works.
He
knows what people want.
Yeah.
Like, this movie is so great, and I guarantee you, he goes, oh, that movie's great. I'm gonna go watch it immediately. My next plane ride from here to here.
Exactly.
I'm watching all these movies.
Whatever he's doing in between, he's probably watching these movies.
Yeah.
You know, and now I don't feel so bad for watching movies a lot. I watch movies a lot, and I watch a lot of the same movies over and over again.
Right, because one day you might be Tom Cruise.
One day I might be. Like, I'm hoping at some point.
You'll get there.
I'm in the starting phases though. I gotta admit, I've been watching these camcasts, and I'm just like, belly, okay, jowl, okay, Chris, all right.
I notice it right here when I'm sitting sideways, and I see this. I was like, do I try to lose it, or do I buy a higher table?
Yeah. Do I try to position myself in a way where you don't see my belly?
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, honestly, I have so much more respect for Cruise now than ever before.
Now I feel like I don't think I'll ever be in a period where I'm like, I don't know if I like Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, like you can talk about the Scientology shit all day long, but at the end of the day, I don't care.
Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter. I got friends that are into religions that I'm not into.
Tom Cruise isn't showing up in my house going like, hey man, are you a Scientologist? And I say, no. And he goes, you better be a fucking Scientologist.
Yeah.
No, not at all. And I mean, okay, so he had that one bout of craziness, but did War of the Worlds bomb because of it? No. It was a huge blockbuster success, okay? MI3 was, you know, it is what it is, but...
Yeah. He rarely has a movie that doesn't make more than $100 million.
Exactly.
At the domestic box office. That's
you know?
got to tell you something.
And I mean, okay, so in the last couple of years, it's been hit and miss with him. Still.
Yeah.
Like, he is still more hit than miss. I mean, even Valkyrie, which wasn't that good of a movie, he was the best thing in that movie.
Yeah.
I almost feel like we should do a Tom Cruise retrospective.
Hey, I'm down with that.
You know what I mean? Like, you pick 3 of your favorite Tom Cruise movies. I'll pick 3 of my favorite Tom Cruise, excluding the Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah.
We'll keep those out.
I mean, I kind of teased already what my 3 would be in our last one when we had that question going, what's your favorite Tom Cruise movie?
Yeah.
And I straight out threw 3 movies out there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, obviously mine's going to be Collateral. That's going to be one of mine.
Yeah.
You know.
mean, but whatever. I'm down with that.
Man, because, like, yeah, fuck, like, it's, yeah, say what you will, but that guy fucking delivers, and I firmly believe he's willing to die for this fucking movie.
He would.
Any of these movies, if he feels like, okay, you know what?
He's probably got in his contract that if I die during this, I want you to still release it. I guarantee it. I don't care if it's only 45 minutes long.
He's got a post-mortem credit, like in his own movie. He's got a pre-sequel credit.
There's a scene of him just jumping. And it cuts to black. It's like, in memory of Tom Cruise. You don't know what happened with the rest of the movie.
It's gonna be like, okay, first of all, you finish the movie.
Yeah.
CGI the shit out of it, but you release that movie.
You release it.
Yeah, actually,
I guarantee you, if I die, release the movie.
But you know what I also like too is that like when people talk about Tom Cruise in interviews, you don't get the sense that they're saying what you want to hear or what the Scientologists want you to say. Because I feel like he probably just is his natural, like, cool dude. He just happens to be a Scientologist.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, whatever. You got your beliefs. Who cares?
Yeah.
What you believe in doesn't affect me whatsoever.
But a lot of times, even the people that he works with goes on to bigger and better things. There's only, like I mentioned Collateral. Jamie Foxx hasn't really done much of anything.
No.
But, I mean...
He did. He had a run there for a while.
He did have a run there for a while.
He was the hot stuff for a while,
yeah.
you know, and a lot of guys in the 2000s were like that. They were the hot guys, and now they're kind of simmered down. Tom Cruise has held.
Yeah, but what I was going to say was that like part of it is that like they strike when the iron's hot, so to speak, but also eventually you start to realize that, like, first of all, I don't think Jamie Foxx is an amazing actor.
He's a good actor.
He's a good actor
who gets amazing roles often.
Yes, who does manage to get amazing roles.
Yes.
You know, but then, like, so, like, Amazing Spider-Man 2 was a perfect example where he could have been the best thing in that movie. There was the potential for that.
And he was so far off from it.
And he was so far off. Like, he was terrible in that movie.
We've already had one Edward Digbub. We don't need another
Exactly. You know what I mean? And that's the thing where, like, even in Mission Impossible 2, as much as I say that is the worst Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise is the best thing in that movie.
Oh yeah.
You know, even when he's saying these really shitty written lines that he signed off on, he is still the best thing in that movie. And that's always, like, a clear indication, you know? But, Last Samurai, that'd be another one of my favorite Tom Cruise movies, because it's so good.
Yeah, no, I'm down with that. Fuck this
I'm
shit.
gonna see if I can
So many
nail
Tom
a
Cruise
third. I'm
movies I love.
just trying to see if I can nail a third of my favorite Tom Cruise movies.
Interview with Vampire.
Yep, yeah, that's right. I mentioned in the last
You
one,
did.
so yeah, thank you
Yeah.
for remembering. Yeah.
Yeah.
So those would be the three. Yeah, okay. At some point in the near future.
Yep.
You know, when we run out.
And I would have a runner-up as Top Gun.
Yeah, Top Gun,
But
Rain
no,
Man.
yeah, but my three are probably War of the Worlds and Oblivion.
Rain Man is I like that movie, but I wouldn't say that's one of Tom Cruise's best.
No.
Because that's during, like, a period where he's kind of playing the same
He
role.
did a lot of roles. I mean, they were really good, but
He was
Few
kind of
Good
playing
Men with Jack Nicholson. You know, he had that big scene. With Jack.
Sorry, what? Oh,
Few
yeah,
Good
Few Good
Men.
Men. Yeah.
Yeah.
Few Good Men was actually really good.
Yeah, you can't handle the truth, you know.
Yeah, and it's funny how much Michelle hates Tom Cruise, but that's one of her favorite movies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Demi Moore, right?
Nope.
Nope.
I don't think it is. I think it's actually. I think
Tom
it's Jack
Cruise?
Nicholson. And I think it's Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
He's just so good. He is absolutely one of the greatest actors.
I was going to mention, like, you look at the '80s, like the stars from the '80s. Bruce Willis, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, all these stars in the '80s, action stars.
Yep.
They're doing direct-to-video now. They're doing small shit. Tom Cruise has held this title since, like, Top Gun.
Even though,
just like, boom, boom, boom.
Even though he may not be as respected within the acting community as he once was, because apparently, like, it's still a lot of people look at his crazy period as, like, and the Scientology stuff, they're like, oh, he's fucking,
such bullshit.
He's fucking crazy, he's weird, but it's just like, you're right, like Bruce Willis practically sleepwalks through almost every single one of his roles, where now he's not even a character, he's just himself.
I'm just Bruce Willis.
And I'm bored, I'm, like, almost pained to be in this movie. That's why I have not watched the Death Wish remake, and have no desire to watch it. That's one of the reasons why, as much as I'm pumped for Glass,
You're worried about Glass.
I'm worried about him tanking the movie. Because you don't see him do anything other than Bruce Willis in the trailers.
His little spot at the end of Split was David Dunn.
Yeah.
It was him, like, the same way he was in Unbreakable.
But he was also in it for 30 seconds.
Yeah. So, we'll see.
I'm, like,
crossing fingers.
really, really hoping.
Crossing fingers.
But then, like you said, too, or even Will Smith. Mm-hmm. Will Smith is an absolutely, like, he was a top.
Yeah.
And he is an absolutely amazing actor.
And now he's doing Netflix movies. Tom Cruise hasn't gone there yet.
You know, I mean, like, After Earth was just like, ugh. Mm-hmm. If you could pick a movie that killed Will Smith's career, After Earth.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Not so much After Earth, but the fact that he was so set on shoehorning his friggin' son into everything.
That I actually didn't mind so much. Actually, no, I wouldn't have minded so much if his son was any good. Mm-hmm. You know? Mm-hmm. Like, I mean...
And apparently his son's a huge tool bag because he, like, got his bodyguards to kick my brother out of a club.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Remember that story?
No, I've never heard this story.
James was at this club in Toronto, you know, because he does the club thing, right?
Of course, yeah.
He works for the guys and everything. They're on the top floor, the main floor. Yep. And then he's check out the club. His bodyguards come up and like, everyone out, you out. And then they push James and all these people out. And who walks in? Jaden. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I said, like, it wouldn't have been so bad if Jaden was good. But even then, that movie is pretty terrible.
Yeah.
And that's during, like, Will Smith's squinty phase, where he almost looks like he's in pain for every movie. Mm-hmm. And it started with I Am Legend.
The squint.
Yeah.
That's when he plays a serious actor. Squints.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, because he's in pain. Like, everyone's dead. I am legend.
I am legend.
You know that's the line you wanted to say, right?
That's great. I like that. But I am legend.
Even though he wasn't terrible and bright, it was just Like, really?
Yeah, Bright.
You're doing, like, Adam Sandler Netflix movies now? Like, you were the king of the fucking summer.
I know. Yeah. I can't
just do Bad Boys 3.
Yeah.
And then call it a day. Go away for, like, 5 years. Come back. Suicide Squad was not the big return that he wanted.
No. And Independence Day would have been 3 times bigger if he returned for it. But he didn't. He picked Suicide Squad and then Bright. So
Hold on. I watched Independence Day Resurgence. I'm glad he wasn't in that movie.
it would have been different with him in it, though.
It would have been different with him in it, but then it still would have been fucking terrible. Painfully terrible.
But you've never been an ID4 fan as it is. We're getting off topic.
Nope.
No,
I was not.
The Mission Impossible
Wait,
podcast.
Did we get off topic again?
It happens.
What?
It happens. I feel like we're clocking in pretty long at the moment.
Yeah.
So,
you know what? Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. Twitter's still a thing, guys. On Instagram. Because we're everywhere. We're everywhere. SoundCloud, we're on that too.
Yeah.
What else?
Doing SoundCloud, we got YouTube going, iTunes.
I already said YouTube. iTunes, iTunes. iTunes. We're everywhere. Eventually, we're going to be on Google Music, possibly Spotify. You don't know where you're going to find us. But we're going to be there wearing our geek pants, and you should too. Thank you so much. I made a mess, eh? I threw garbage already.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to clean that shit up, though. This is not my house.
Oh, no, I'm totally the bitch.
You don't have to do that. I'll clean up. You're not the bitch. Not at all. You're a man, Kenneth.
You smacked that good, though.
Yeah.
It kind of threw me off. She was like getting into it, and then...
Just want everyone to know how thankful we are.
Good job.
These pancakes are delicious.